that
Oh, we're live.
deal.
We're live.
We are live now.
Live is. Oh wait, I have to pull up WWE Network though.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time. I'm gonna tweet you guys the Periscope link. It's probably easier than doing a YouTube. Everyone who's joining right now, I texted Robbie. We'll see where Robbie is. Robbie's probably doing kids things right now.
Doing what things?
What?
What kind of things is he doing?
Kid things? I don't know. What's a young work? He goes to me. It was the cutest thing, and I shouldn't say it like that. But he's like, originally we were gonna do this at 9. He goes, "You realize this is 3 hours?" And I was like, "Yeah, Robbie. Like I am old. Let's do this at 8:30." So I don't know if he got the memo. I told him a few times it was 8:30, but I haven't heard from him in a hot minute. So
the shorter one, it's only 2:44.
What's that?
The shorter one, it's only 2:44.
Yeah, that's a pre-show at this point.
Yeah, right.
When I went to Mania in Dallas, and I guess that was 4 years ago at this point, 5 years ago at this point, it was when everybody on the roster was injured. So it was like the main event was Reigns, Triple H, but there's no Rollins, there's no Orton, there was no anybody. And it was, so Arlington, Jerry World is like an hour and a half in traffic away from downtown Dallas. So getting there and back was like such a 3-hour adventure. And then they had the 6-hour show in between. It was, I would not go back to WrestleMania.
Is that the only pay-per-view event you've been to, Nate?
No, I went to the best pay-per-view at Capital One Arena in DC right before the brand split when they did it most recent time. We had the Shield triple threat match. We had Bayley's debut. We had there was AJ Styles against someone. We had New Day against or Big E against Cena. I don't know. It was like the best pay-per-view of all time.
Have you ever been to one, Clem?
Never been to one. This is the first one that got me back into wrestling was WrestleMania 14. It would have been like that range, 15, 16, 17. Never got to any of them. And then it's like I've always wanted to do it. And that one that was at Giant Stadium, I was thinking about doing it for, but I'm so out. Like I'm either so in. That's a lot of people wrestling. You're either so in or you're so out. And I've been so out basically since like 2000.
Dude, here's what you do. I went to the Rumble in Philly a couple years ago with Bob. Go to a Rumble because it's just the best. Like everybody gets so hyped, counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That even if you're not like into wrestling, like you can't help but get excited for the Rumble. And plus, they bring back all the old guys that everybody loves.
You get the pop.
It was when Nakamura won, and like the whole place was going crazy. He was so over. Go to a Rumble.
So I've only been to SummerSlam. And that was awesome. I went in 2008, where it was a Hell in a Cell, Edge versus Undertaker in 2008.
Yeah. I wanted to do SummerSlam. What was it? Highway to Hell. That was I was way too into wrestling then. Highway to Hell at the Garden, I think it was. I heard that song like a billion times that entire summer. So that would have been the one I would have went to probably. Let's see here. Let me get this set up. So what we're gonna do is everyone's gonna set up their WWE Network. It's for free. If anyone's watching this and I guess just gonna kind of watch with the stream, we're gonna set up everything at our house. It's free. You just go to WWE Network, just Google that, sign up for it. Once you go it'll ask your email address. You get to the payment part. You can just click X, and then your account will be set. We're gonna start. We're gonna hit like 3, 2, 1. We hit play. We'll be all kind of synced up, and we're just gonna bullshit. I don't know how legal it is for me to kind of pop it on the stream here and there, but we're gonna maybe do that just to kind of know where we are in terms of stuff. And we're just gonna bullshit on, the glory days of the Attitude Era, wrestling, quarantine talk. The chat, you guys are usually the stars of the show. I'll try to pump some comments into here. We'll get some questions.
I love the poster you used where it just has like Rocky Maivia in tiny letters at the bottom, and it's like a squash match for him. It's like, well, this fucking loser, he's just like a sideshow on Mania. What's this guy? That's when they were still chanting like "Die Rocky Die" at him. This is when wrestling fans were so brutal, And like literally, I don't even know if people realize, like The Rock now, the biggest superstar in the entire world, when he started in wrestling, they thought he was going to be a babyface. Fans hated him so much. Entire arenas were chanting "Die, Rocky, die" at him. The most brutal thing you can chant at a human being. And he just had to take it on the chin for like years. And then they repackaged him a little bit. But I don't know if people realize Rock was more of a heel the majority of his career than a face.
Yeah, he was kind of at the perfect time too, but he was so good at what he did, like he just shined through. But not as Rocky Maivia, the baby face, go Rocky go with him, Rock sucks and all that stuff. But when he hits the nation, which again I haven't watched his pay-per-view since it happened. I probably watched it once or twice. It kind of just shines through. Like he just know this guy's gonna. It was like the biggest no doubt. It's like seeing Mike Trout in single A ball. You're like, that guy's fucking awesome.
Yeah, like that guy has it. Like he just has it.
The ball came off the bat different with Rocky Maivia. You just hear it, right?
There's a bunch of guys like that. Every once in a while, I'll see a guy like in NXT. I'll be like, boy, that's the next big guy. And then usually like Vince ends up ruining them on the main roster. But the guy right now, I don't know how much you guys are watching NXT, but Velveteen Dream, he is the guy.
I know him from WWE 2K20. I've been playing that lately too, and he's like a main character in that.
So you're that deep, huh, Reags? You're playing games and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I go in kind of peaks and valleys. Obviously during basketball season, I'm not watching Raw. Like summertime into fall, I'll go heavy. Like every Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
I usually get WWE. Like I play all my video games in the summer for the most part. So I actually like a week before or 2 weeks before quarantine hit, I bought 2K20 WWE because I was like, I need something to play, just like, to kill some time or whatever. I was like, oh, it's perfect. Like I have my Madden and my NBA. I was like, I'll get wrestling, and Velveteen Dream's like a main part of WWE 2K20.
Yeah, he's a DC kid, and he was on Tough Enough like way long time ago as an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, and everybody knew he was the most talented person on Tough Enough, but he was so young and he was so cocky that he kind of rubbed people the wrong way. But the only reason he was cocky is because he was so much better than everybody else. So he didn't win the show, but they immediately signed him at 19 years old to a developmental deal. And he's just been like grinding his way since. And it's like so obviously clear he's going to be the next mega superstar. Bob Fox!
What's up, Rob?
What's up, guys?
Talking about Patrick Clark. Your thoughts?
I like Velveteen Dream. He's cooled off definitely a lot recently, and people are worried about that right now, but I don't think it's going to be an issue.
Yeah, I was saying since he was on Tough Enough at 19, he's just been like the guy. Everybody knows he's just so much more talented than everybody else, and now he's piecing it all together. And sky's the limit. Like they're saying he's the next Cena. Like he's going to be the next face of.
Oh well, yeah. It's tough to claim that because like nobody, Cena's the only Cena. There's not,
He's the first
crazy
Dream.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm not signed into WWE Network on my thing.
Not a real fan.
But I'm not. It's weird. I know, yeah.
Are you a wrestling guy?
Yeah, no. Poser.
This whole time. He's been just skating by. He got into Barstool as the wrestling guy. He doesn't know a thing about it.
Now he got into the
golf guy.
Right, the golf guy. He really didn't know anything about it.
That's legit one of my favorite, like, not storylines, but storylines.
Yeah, me too.
That Robbie Fox started as the golf guy.
His intern.
There needs to be like a Barstool origin stories. Like it could just be a short series. Because every single person has a weird way how they got into the company. You know what I mean? Trent with the T-shirt, Robbie getting in as the golf guy. Nate Dogg. How did you get in, Nate Dogg?
Just by being super talented, obviously.
Yeah.
I couldn't find a blog like Barstool for DC, so I started my own, and then I did it for a couple months. Emailed Dave, and then he hired me that day, or the next morning, I guess. But mine's kind of one of the more boring origin stories. Like I don't have any of those like strokes of luck, like Brandon Walker, right place, right time type of things. Mine's just I don't know. I started a blog, sent it to Dave. But I don't have.
Yeah, you did it like the right way.
Yeah, I guess. So I don't know if there is a right way, but yeah.
So you guys ready to pop this off? Did you get in, Bob?
About to.
Bob just looks
Hold on
confused.
1 second.
Oh,
I'm
man.
very confused as to why I'm having to sign into the WWE Network when I watch this all the time, and
Did
now
you give
I'm
someone your
like,
password?
huh?
Did you give someone your password? That might have logged you out.
No.
Well,
All right.
you're in.
I'm about to have it.
All good. No rush. No rush. Let's see what we got here in the dumpster match. That's the thing. The card. This card. I was looking at it. And obviously, it's Stone Cold at the top. So we're gonna pop it. We're gonna start the pay per view in a minute. Stone Cold at the top. Undertaker versus Kane. Which this is the first time they square off, right?
Yes.
Which is hilarious because they faced each other. I mean, it's like twice a week. Like that. It was literally they just changed like the gimmicks in it, but they would face off twice a week, every week for like the next 30 years. And then like I'm going through it and I see The Rock, I see Triple H as Hunter Hearst Helmsley still, and then it just says dumpster match, and I'm like, oh, how did that slip by? So, you guys ready to start this up?
Yep.
I'm ready.
So on the count of 3, we're all gonna hit play on our whatever the hell you're streaming on, and then we'll see how it goes from there because I have no idea it's gonna work. Ready? 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh wait, we should mute it, right?
Yeah, or at least make it low, so it's not overpowering.
Yeah.
So we are now live. I don't know if we're gonna get.
You're looking at
sued for
Andre the Giant right now, right?
Yep.
This is what I'm.
All right, cool.
Those first DX shirts, everyone forgets that they were red.
Yeah, no, I never.
Were they?
Yeah,
they were the promo. They were not very aesthetically pleasing either. They kind of look like spilled ketchup.
Wow, like just an all-time save by whoever designed that, whoever their Welker was.
Whoever was like, why don't we go with black and green?
So I was telling Clem, I started rewatching WrestleManias about a week and a half ago. I started 1 year after this. So I have not rewatched 14. I started at 15, and I've been knocking out like 2 a day.
Wow.
It's perfect. Just put on and at 11 a.m.
19 blogs and WrestleManias a day. That's what you're doing.
There's nothing else on.
I was gonna say, especially these are long, so it's a big block of all right. This is something to watch for the next 3 hours. Yeah.
Bob, what was the main event of the Rumble when we went in Philly?
It was a Rumble itself. It was the Women's Rumble. Because then Ronda came out at the end.
Won the Men's Rumble, and then it went Women's Rumble after.
Yeah, because that was Ronda's debut.
Ronda's debut, and yes. I could not remember what the main event was. It was yes. What are you drinking? Sweet tea?
It's Hawaiian Punch.
Oh.
I forgot the name for a second. Look at this CGI.
Red.
I do love the entrances. Like as I've been rewatching it, how like elaborate they are now versus like 99, 2000, where they just have maybe a live band for one guy or the big screen kind of behind.
Like even this right now, like look at the WrestleMania screen. Yeah. It's a poster board. Now last year they had a screen the size of a football field.
Right.
Dude, where was it when they had the working roller coaster just as the background?
That was Hollywood, wasn't it? Or
that was Orlando.
Orlando.
Papa Shango, the Godfather, for those at home.
Oh, shout out Papa Shango. It terrified me as a kid. I was so scared of Papa Shango. He made the Ultimate Warrior throw up.
And it was black.
Melt or something. Oh, it was not good times. I didn't sleep for like a month.
That's a scary promo when they bring Warrior back on the hospital bed and he spews it onto the doctor.
Were you a Warrior fan, Clem?
I hate it. I didn't hate the Ultimate Warrior. I didn't really like him. I was a diehard. I mean, all my teams, as much as I love him, Hulk Hogan was above it because he was basically a god, right?
Right.
And when he loses, I can't even watch WrestleMania 6. Like that's the one WrestleMania I cannot rewatch in any of these streams because it still hurts me to this day.
I was a huge Warrior guy. He was like kind of my first favorite wrestler because he was my brother's favorite. This is the return of Legion of Doom, LOD 2000, with one of the coolest overall like gear attire or whatever.
The shoulder
Sonny is their manager.
Yeah, the Ascension
Now-
tried to remake it. Did not go very well.
No.
See, this is like back in the day. I was on like the wrestling boards and stuff like that. Like I was pretty diehard into wrestling, and I was so excited because I was an LD guy. What happened to them? Like, did they just flop? I don't really remember what happened with their return here. They just
I don't know why their return run
did.
did. Yeah, it didn't work, but it was cool. They had Sunny as their manager. She was super hot at the time. They looked great. They had the motorcycle helmets. They had the big ear pads. I don't know why this didn't work. I know Hawk got sick not too soon afterwards, so that might have been it. Hawk got cancer.
Yeah. And you would think, though, going right
Yeah.
into 2000, this would play perfectly. Like, this is like peak late 90s attire, the
Definitely.
whole ordeal.
They look like they're right out of, like Mad Max or something.
Right.
You know what I miss the most is the camera flashes. I love watching old pay-per-view and the camera flashes and it's so cool. It adds so much to it. I talk about it.
That's across all sports.
Super Bowl kickoff with the old camera flashes.
I remember
like a big at-bat.
the McGuire Sosa home run chase where every pitch, all the camera flashes would go off in the stadium, and I just felt it added so much to it. I miss it so much.
Especially when you can hear like the click, 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 and like faintly in the background.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
The ultimate example of that, Nate, for me in wrestling is WrestleMania 17, the Edge Spear, where there's 1,000 camera flashes. That's
so cool, man.
amazing.
So
yeah.
cool. It's so awesome.
There's some wild people in the ring right now. I think the Rock and Roll Express is in the ring. Ricky Morton, JBL's in there. Hacksaw Jim Duggan is in there in overalls.
Watching JBL's transformation from Bradshaw to JBL has been nothing short of hilarious.
So,
yeah, and now he's on Fox News every day talking stock.
Yeah.
I would always see people tweet about JBL, and he was like, was he champion? He was like, obviously, a big deal.
Oh yeah.
He was
And like, that was Bradshaw. I was like, wait, Bradshaw's a thing in the WWF. It blew my fucking mind. I could not.
And he was the one to like sort of make the eventual handoff to John Cena to make him like the guy. He was the guy that John Cena beat at WrestleMania in his first main event.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve Blackman, that was an all-time just straight up waste of money. That guy. Oh.
Is that Mark
Hey,
Henry in the
you
ring?
know what Steve Blackman's doing now? He's the bail bondsman.
Really?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So don't be running out on Steve Blackman.
Oh, can you imagine if he shows up at your house in like the robe and no shoes? That would
Bob, people sleep on Steve Blackman doing like a 30-foot fall off the Titantron.
Yeah.
Like we never.
He was a crazy guy.
I remember watching that on my 13-inch Panasonic TV, scrambled though, because I wasn't allowed to order pay-per-views as a kid. So I remember watching, I would see a glimpse about every, I don't know, minute and a half. And I remember seeing Steve Blackman falling on scrambled pay-per-view and then having to wait till Raw the next day to find out what happened. Thought he died.
It's actually impressive that LOD didn't hit. I mean, when you have Sonny come into the ring basically naked and you can't get the crowd on your side, how could you not do it? I mean, look at her. I also miss Sonny's like run. She was like her like rise was when I got out of wrestling, and then she kind of faded around here. I'm shocked that LOD didn't stick.
Well, I got some good news for Sonny. She actually just got out of prison once again. So there you go. Yeah.
What was she in prison for?
I'm not sure what it was this time, but I know literally, I think it was last week or the week before she just got out of prison. Pretty sure she said she might go back into porn.
Okay. It's commendable.
We are currently 7:35 into the card right now, give or take. So that's where we are right now. If you guys want to catch up, if you joined late, basically between 7 and 8 minutes, just get to the 8-minute mark and we'll go from there.
How about Mark Henry in the ring right there too?
Oh, did Mark Henry ever because I mean, they tried him forever. Like, they kept giving him
it worked with him.
He ended up kind of blowing up.
He got an amazing run in 2011 where he was like inducting people into the Hall of Pain.
Yep.
And he was the world heavyweight champ and everyone loved it. He did that. And then he also did a fake retirement speech, which went down as an all-timer, where he gave the speech. People were crying in the crowd. He's like, Daddy's coming home, like said it to his kids. John Cena came out, raised his hand. And then he fucking hit John Cena with his finisher. And he's like, I ain't done yet. I got a ton left more in the tank. It was amazing.
Oh, the headbangers. Hated those fucking guys.
Yeah, they were never good.
Mark Henry, look at him go. See ya.
What was do you guys know what this battle royal was for? Or was it just like, hey, let's start off WrestleMania with a battle royal, or was there anything on the line?
It was let's get everyone on the card.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
How can we bring back LOD and get everybody out there at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. LOD has to win this too, you think, right? Like that would be. Well, I guess we'll find out because I have no idea. Bob, who's the dude in like? He looks like the biker with like the leather vest on. Was that
I'm looking.
Bald head. He just got tackled from behind.
Yes. So the two bald head guys here are brothers, and I forget their name, but they actually sort of got canceled because if you look at their tattoos, they both have they're sort of covered up, but the Nazi SS's. I'm sure somebody in the chat will be able to bring it up.
What?
Yeah.
Just, I mean, the attitude.
They run their own wrestling company now.
Of course they do.
You can sort of see the S's because if you know where to look on both of them, it's here
on the
sort
inside
of
inside forearm or inside.
Sort of inner bicep, yeah.
Never trust tattoo guys. If you have a tattoo, you're nothing but bad news. That's what I say.
What do you got against us here?
I know. I'm just busting Bob's balls because I know Reags. The fact you have a tattoo. You told me that the other day. How many do you have, Reags?
I have one big one on my back shoulder blade.
And let's see. Show it to the stream.
I'm not going to lift my shirt off, but because I would literally have to get topless.
Hey, we're on quarantine body right now.
Yeah. Wait till after. It's my family crest with a saying on the top and then a name on the bottom.
The 8-baller tramp stamp. That would be great if Reags had a tramp stamp.
Yeah.
Was that their name? Someone like that.
Clem, are you going to become a tattoo guy?
No, I've always I
would love Clem if Clem tattoo guy.
Leave it up.
I honestly, there was a point where I would have probably gotten a tattoo to get hired at Barstool. Like if it was years and years and I needed to do it, and if this you remember back in the day, it was a lot harder. I mean, I think we were all before the hiring craze really did. I mean, even Bob was even before the most recent push where it wasn't as much of an explosion. I probably would have gotten a tattoo of the Barstool thing to get the job at some point. Thank God I didn't do that. But I don't know. I never thought I would, but then who gives a shit at this point? So yeah, I'm just scared I get addicted, and then me and Bob would just be sleeve brothers.
Yeah, that would be
Clem with the sleeve would be.
Dude, if you got the Infinity Gauntlet fully tattooed onto your hand.
You're telling me right now, Roberto.
Just do it, Clem. What do you have to lose?
I mean, shit. This quarantine goes on long enough.
Look at these guys. They brought buckets into the ring.
Oh, my favorite thing watching old wrestling pay-per-views are just the amount of headshots. Nobody cares. It's just headshot after headshot. Oh, there's your girl.
Body, my wife just brought me these down. We got these in the mail today because I had wrote a blog about it. They sent me a few to taste. The WWF Pops remade. Remember these? So we got the ice cream sandwiches here.
But they don't have the chocolate, do
clearly, they don't have the chocolate. They don't have the stick.
Yeah.
And it is the cookie though. But those were 20-something years ago. And the image isn't even as crisp. The old one was laser printed in the 90s somehow. So I got the one thing they did smart. It's 2 wrestlers per side. So you have 2 wrestlers per bar. So you have Roman Reigns and Macho Man. So that kind of that you can kind of have. But there's only I think Cena and there's a girl are the 4 people that are on these. A review.
I feel like I could still remember the distinct taste of a WWF ice cream bar.
Big advantage though, not just my take. I shiver at anything with the popsicles. I can't stand the wooden pop.
Oh really?
There's something about it.
Yeah.
For the WWF ice cream bar, I feel like I want it at this point. Just for
I would cut it off into a bowl and eat it that way.
LOD.
They did it.
What a push. I just throw them on, let them beat 15 other tag teams. Who gives a shit?
They did it.
Man, Sonny was fucking hot back then, huh? Jesus.
I'm gonna need a cold shower in a minute.
Chris Candido? Yeah, I'm in quarantine brain right now, so I don't need to be seeing Attitude Wrestling right now. This might be a problem, actually.
Dude, when nobody has anything to blog and you start seeing a lot of asses on the back end, it just brings me back to the old days. It's like, oh, well, 12:30, zip.
Oh my god.
It's fun working from home. You just see the smut come back, and you just see people's creative juices flowing. It's a lot of fun now.
Just literally, I saw somebody like tweet or comment like, so we're just blogging whatever comes to mind now. It's like, yeah, that's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah. Do I have a thought in my brain? Well, now it's on the computer.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Sonny was basically in the ring before the last person was thrown out. She was getting in there like, oh my goodness.
So you guys said you miss like the camera flashing and stuff like that, and it could still be the case. I miss the signs. I don't know if the signs are still the same, if they're as like
no, not at all.
Not even close. Yeah.
The signs were just incredible. Like, and then whatever. If you need to know what was the big in pop culture, just look at a WWF crowd sign in like the early 2000s, and it would be like, South Park is big because you'd have 1,000 South Park things or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I really miss those.
Yeah.
I miss when the cameras didn't cut 10 times per minute. That's like the new WWE thing is it's constantly like boom, 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 boom. Oh my God, look at this. Check this out. Look over here. Look at this. Up, over here. And watching this is just like refreshing. It's like, oh my God, they're holding on a shot. That little thing they just clipped to, right there where it was Austin and it was like an outdoors event with Tyson and DX. Someone threw a battery at Shawn Michaels and hit him in the head, and he left.
He just said later, I'm out.
He just said later, I'm out. Walked out mid-event. Yeah.
And that was walking.
Regis is so good
because this was starting to become like this was Michael's last event for a while. He passes the torch to Austin, and then this is the Austin era. You know,
his back was fucked, right? Like
his back was fucked. He was starting to get fed up with people backstage. People backstage were getting fed up with him. He's doing drugs. He's drinking too much. So he's probably drunk. Someone hits him in the head with a battery, and he's like, "Fuck this! I'm not staying out here. People are throwing batteries at me."
That was an incredible amount of people too. You know, like I mean, I'm sure it was a free event, and it's like, hey, if you have some time to burn, go see Mike Tyson up close in a ring. But like, that was great. How about Marvelous Mark Marrow too? Brought Sable into the WWF, and then she was married to who? Who was she married to? Stone Cold? No,
she was married to Lesnar.
Deborah.
Lesnar.
Oh, Lesnar. She's still married with Lesnar?
Oh yeah.
They have like 3 kids now or something like that too.
If you want to, I think I sent it to Bob a few weeks ago. Brock Lesnar has a daughter who just committed to Arizona State on a scholarship for javelin or shot put or whatever. Identical to him. Just
really?
Absolutely identical twin to Brock Lesnar. It's like pale as can be, like the whitest human being. It's really, really funny. But like he gave birth to 3 athletes. Like
I don't know how this made WrestleMania. What are we watching right now that made WrestleMania? RVD sign in the crowd. Little shout out to ECW.
Love RVD.
I couldn't tell you anything about these guys.
The WWF Light Heavyweight Championship, very short-lived. Lasted 1 year or 6 months.
I somewhat remember.
Light Heavyweight? Dude, no, like Scotty Too Hottie had it for a bit.
Was that cruiserweight?
Lasted 6 months. Yeah, you're like probably thinking cruiserweight or European.
European was always on Sunday Night Heat as well. I feel like light heavyweight, it was like Funaki and Scotty Too Hottie.
Lost Clem.
Oh, Clem's gone.
And we're still live.
He'll be back, I'm sure.
Yeah, because cruiserweight was around forever.
Cruiserweight was always WCW though.
No, but they brought it over to WWE for a while.
Who are these guys?
I know Aguila just as like a person, but I didn't like that's how I know him. He's just like, oh, it's a person.
Yeah.
He is alive.
I remember like Aguila was in like the old video games. That's the only reason I remember him too.
And he's kind of like he looks like a Psychosis Jushin Liger ripoff wrestler. He's that like a B-rate those guys because the WWE didn't have either of those guys.
I mean, this is an amazing spot.
And how is this the second match on WrestleMania? Like, if it's one thing if it's on, but how do you throw this in the second one?
So something this sort of reminds me of, and whoa, what a spot! What a dive! Apparently on WrestleMania this year, it's been pre-taped already. The rumor is that there's going to be a ladder match for the United States Championship where it's The Miz versus one of the Usos, and that just screams like, I don't know, the only two action figures left in the barrel to me. And not to shit on either of those two guys, because I love The Miz. I've been saying for years The Miz is amazing. I like the Usos. It's just so random and doesn't make sense as like a singles match and a ladder match for a title at WrestleMania.
Yeah, because they've had the tag team rivalry for a few months now, the Usos and Miz and Morrison.
Bob, do we know who the actual main event's going to be?
Well, there's going to be two because it's 2 nights.
No.
I would assume
Reigns against Goldberg.
Well, Reigns
Braun and Goldberg, I believe.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Braun.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Yeah, if they put him over, I'm afraid that Goldberg's just going to spear him, and we're going to have "Good night, everybody." With
at this point, like
Vince in the crowd, Goldberg.
Yeah. I would respect it way more if Vince is sitting in the crowd by himself chanting. If that happens.
Oh, that's sick.
What a spot! These guys are busting their ass.
They really are. I mean, that's not bad, man. This is good.
But you can even tell, like, the crowd just doesn't give a shit.
Damn.
Oh, what was this guy's name? With the
Aquila.
I love this guy. I forgot all about this fucking guy.
These guys are going, dude. I've never seen this match.
There's just no reaction in the crowd, though. Everyone's just sitting there, like, staring at him.
Yeah, everyone's like, "Bring out Stone Cold, the guy that drinks beer."
Yeah.
We're at about 21 minutes timestamp. Got the what is this? What's the belt is considered?
I'm at 2050 right now.
This is the light heavyweight, which was a very weird one.
Yeah, 2050.
We got a question from the chat. Where do you guys rank Austin Michaels in greatest matches? Top 5?
Is it even the best Austin or Michaels fight?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you're saying all time, definitely not. I wouldn't, like, it wouldn't come to mind if I were ranking matches. Like, it's a great match. It's a great like moment more than anything, I would say.
Like Austin,
it's a great WrestleMania main event. Yeah,
Austin Rock is definitely better than Austin Michaels, right? Pick any of the 3.
I would probably prefer Austin Michaels to WrestleMania 17, which is an unpopular opinion because 17 is everyone's favorite, but that's the one where the finish is like he beats The Rock down with a bunch of chairs. I hate that finish. But yeah, I would say probably all 3 are preferred generally.
What is it? Is it 18 where there's like the 3 rock bottoms and the 2 stunners? Or is that?
No, that's 19. That's Stone Cold's last. And I like that one because it's like, I like the story they tell of finally the Stone Cold can't put Rock down, Rock beats him, and it wound up being Stone Cold's last match. Like, he was the only one that knew that at the time.
Yeah, I think that's probably the peak one for me.
Yeah, I really like that one. That's the one where also the Rock puts on his vest and hits him with the stunner.
That's what I'm thinking of. And then doesn't Stone Cold counter that with the rock bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is so, like, not a Stone Cold thing to do, but they did it. And it
played
awesome.
And it played perfect.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't feel out of place.
Yes.
To the top row.
And WrestleMania 19 was that was the first WrestleMania I ever watched live. So I have, like, so much nostalgia to that one.
I'm sure.
I think it was like 4. Rock Shamrock might have been the most entertaining match tonight. That was, like, one of the main things when I interviewed Ken Shamrock I wanted to bring up, because this was one of the Rock's biggest catapulting star-making matches.
Yeah, we were talking about before you came on, like, he's just in the tiny print on the bottom of the card. Like, they're all just chanting "Die Rocky Die" at him. Like, who would have thought
that
he would have become The Rock as he is now? Great match. Great match.
That was a really good match. They worked their asses off. They went balls to the wall for the little time that they had.
I was always a sucker for, like, the lightweight, cruiserweight, whatever you want to call it, where they the luchador wrestling, just flying off top ropes. every game I played, anytime I watched, it was always give me those guys.
Yeah, I was always a Hardy Boys guy.
Yeah.
Like, always.
Oh, Hardy Boys. Favorite tag team ever?
Hardy Boys.
Hardy Boys?
Table
might be my answer.
Bears era Hardy Boys.
I mean, it's DX for me.
Yeah,
New Age Outlaws?
it was DX, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H growing up.
Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
At this point, it's the Young Bucks. That would be my modern
They're good.
one. If anyone
They're good.
wants a modern answer.
I like Morrison and Mercury a lot, and like kind of that mid.
Yeah, they were
2000.
really good.
I was a big John
They were-
Morrison fan
Very underrated.
because he was just a bigger version of like these lightweights to a degree. Like the way he would kind of fly around reminded me of that.
I'd probably go Hardy Boys 1, New Age Outlaws 2, X-Pac Kane 3.
X-Pac Kane was a
Kane's
good
a good
one.
one.
Rock.
You just signed in 25 minutes, 24 and a half, 24:30. Rock
Yeah,
speed.
so how I would recommend doing it to queue up with us is we're at where go to like 25 and then just pause it sort of till we get there. And then you could play like sync up.
Yeah, we'll say when I'm at 24:50.
Boom, 10-second warning, give him a 5. And then boom. Look at the Rock's fit. What a drip god.
What a trip. Oh, this guy, we were saying, like, this guy just had it. It's like hearing Mike Trout the ball off the bat kind of a thing. The Rock.
The sideburns are peak 90s.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Those are unbelievable. The glass. Oh, I mean, this is just an unbelievable look.
Doggy, let me know when you hit 25:35.
Bob, how was your nap?
It was good. I've been a big nap person through the whole quarantine because I haven't been sleeping very well. I just wake up at 7 a.m. every day.
Yeah.
So no matter what time I go to bed, I wake up at 7. So I've been doing the old Frank the Tank sleeping shifts.
I slept till 9:30 today, and I had no idea what to do with myself.
Oh wow, jealous.
I haven't slept till 9:30 in, I don't know, like years. I woke up and was just like, what the hell? I was like, is it lunchtime now?
That happened to me. Like, when you have kids, that doesn't happen. And when you have it, you're like, did I die for like an hour? Like, how did this happen? It feels like you're in like the wrong place for sure. Who's this girl interviewing The Rock? Do we know?
I don't know.
She kind of looks like Deborah's mom.
Yes.
TD God.
The Garden. Was that the Garden? I saw Austin versus Michaels at the Garden.
That lady right there. Oh shit! We got a live entrance.
So yeah,
so they cut this out of the pay-per-view, but they also did they did America the Beautiful, but it was deemed like disrespectful because they did like a stupid version of it.
Oh.
I love that Triple H, he doesn't care that he's the third match on the card. He's still having the entrance with the live band and making it all about himself.
Yep.
What's your favorite WrestleMania entrance?
Ooh, good question.
Stephanie's and Triple H when they were on that the fucking Mad Max type of cart.
She intros him and then he comes down. Is it that one where he comes down kind of comes like lowered himself off down? She's standing on top. Is it that one you're talking about?
When they were a tag team.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was wearing all leather. And
my favorite is
Max type of situation. That was good. I mean,
John Cena had a really good one at WrestleMania 22 in Chicago. That's the first one that came to mind for me.
That was a weird one. Not a weird one. It was kind of
like a mafia.
He comes
one.
out with it's just terrible acting.
Yeah, but it's perfectly like cheesy in wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, China died, right? She.
Oh yeah, Big Dead.
Big Dead. She was mad scary when she first came. Mad scary. She kind of softened up over the years.
Yo, Warzone. After Raw would go to 10 p.m., you get the new credits for Warzone at 10 p.m. That was when I knew it was way past my bedtime.
My favorite part about Raw is that everything, all the best shit of the night happened between 11 and 11:03. That was always one the thing you'd be talking about the next day, no matter what.
I would get in so much trouble because I was supposed to go to sleep, but I wanted to watch Raw from 10 to 11, and then Howard Stern on E would be on at 11, and I would have the glow from my TV, and my parents would always see it, and I'd get in trouble every night for wanting to, because I wanted to watch Howard Stern on E, but every Monday I wanted to finish watching Raw. Every single Monday I got in trouble.
Oh, Sergeant Slaughter, ringside.
George, you could tell me Sergeant Slaughter was China's dad, I believe you. That chin, they have to be related. That doesn't go more than like 3 branches on a family tree right there. That chin.
The fact that they're zooming in and cutting from one to another just makes it even better, too.
So the stipulation was China had to be handcuffed to him, right? Because she was going to interfere in the match. I believe that was like the whole thing here that's going on.
Correct.
Yeah.
So Nate, you had pretty strict in the house because you couldn't watch pay-per-views. You couldn't watch, what was it, past 10 o'clock? You couldn't stay up?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny how that works, right? The stricter your parents are, the more that you become a Barstool blogger in the future. So I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons. I wasn't allowed to watch wrestling. I wasn't allowed to have my TV on past 10. I got good grades, but also I started listening to punk rock and making dead grandma jokes. And so here we are. Yeah, you win some, you lose some. They had 2 other good kids, I'll tell you that. My brother and my sister, great kids. And then they had me.
There's the timestamp for anyone that wants to queue it up, by the way.
What are you guys at? 2. Okay.
I caught up with this. That was my computer I just put up there just to.
We got Sergeant Slaughter in China going chin to chin right now, and it's something that needs to be screenshotted.
So what was the deal with Slaughter? I saw the 0 Block 30 people were talking about he's never was in the army, or he lied
no. I don't know if he lied about it, but I definitely don't think he was in the army.
Ever.
I think he was just like, I'm G.I. Joe.
Yeah, exactly. He looks like the cartoon guy.
Owen, who I in my later adult life have controversially decided I prefer to Brett.
Wow.
Really?
If I'm going back and watching wrestling at this point, I'm always more interested, always more captivated by Owen Hart matches than Brett for whatever reason. And I like Brett. I'm not one of these people that shits on Bret Hart, because there are those people that say he's boring, could never cut a promo, blah, blah, blah. I think heel Bret Hart is where it was fucking at. And if he never went to WCW and stayed with these guys in the Attitude Era, oh my God, I couldn't believe what that would be. But yeah, Owen was just next level at every point and so underrated.
Kind of weird seeing Triple H again without Stephanie at ringside.
Yeah.
The Owen Hart death was one of those things. It's just still hasn't hit. You know what I mean? It just still doesn't make sense. It's like
Clem, you should be able to add someone through.
Oh, excuse me. We got.
Oh, the birthday boy!
Birthday rocket!
Birthday boy rocket at that.
How are you doing?
Right.
How are you doing? Spirits are a little down right now. I just lost in rock and paper scissors. Best of 7, lost in game 7. Thought it was in. I was up 3-1. I was up 3-1. Stakes were high.
No.
It was a 4-for-4 wager. Lot at stake, and just didn't go the way that we thought it was going to go. That's all.
Was there a
good news? Is WrestleMania 14 ruled?
Wait, what?
Bob,
go ahead.
Was there a Can you try? Was there a massive a bet on the line?
Yeah. Yes. There were 4. We were going 4 for 4. It was the first ever wager where there was 4 things going for 4 things. So yeah, I mean, I tried to up the ante, thought we had him beat, was up 3-1. His strategy was telling me what he was going to throw for every hand, and I was lockstep with him. When he lied, I caught him. When he told the truth, I caught him. And then I don't know what the fuck happened, but fell apart.
What was your final throw?
he lied on my birthday in Game 7. So Game 7, he lied.
During a quarantine.
Yeah,
during
the
a global pandemic, people are dying, and he fucking lied. So,
well, we love you.
listen, that's why I'm here. I love you guys.
What do you have in the bottle?
Dip spit.
Mwah.
Yeah, tastes good. Tastes good. Anything goes in the quarantine.
Yeah.
Is there a stream that I can watch what you guys are watching, or did you all press play at the same time?
Go on. Yeah, we did that, but you could queue it up on your network. So I would pull it up, and then we could basically sync it.
Okay.
Yeah, like if Clem goes like that on the stream, you could probably sync it up on your own.
Okay.
So let me know when you got it open, and we'll pop that open. We'll see where we are.
This is
you missed you missed a shockingly good Takamichinoku North American Championship match.
Brother, I didn't miss it. I watched it live. I remember sitting in the living room watching this one at my buddy Andrew's house. This was live in Boston. Wanted to go, got the no. Grades didn't hold up back then, so it was a no from Ellen.
Once in a lifetime. Did you throw that one at her? Once in a lifetime?
Yeah, well, I did get to see the once in a lifetime, which was the first of a second in a lifetime. Rock Cena, got to see that in New York, which was great.
They did build up once in a lifetime for a year, only to establish that there would be a rematch the very next night. So, not your fault.
Yeah,
there was nothing better than selling a once in a lifetime as a kid to your parents. Be like, Dad, this will never happen again. Like, you have to let me go.
The next night in Raw rematch. All right.
All right. What's the timestamp, boys?
So right now, if you could get within even 10 seconds of us, we're at about 35, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, around that area.
35. I'm on 30. Let me know when you get to 4. Say when it's 35:53.
35, 51, 2, 3.
All right, I'm here.
Perfect.
Cool.
Great.
And Jared Carabas has officially joined the party. Great news.
This is great. I love this.
I'm glad you could make it.
Rocket question. Do you think this Hunter Hearst Helsley guy is going to make it in the business?
Honestly, you know what? The biggest thing that I love about this Hunter Hearst Helmsley guy is his girlfriend China. I mean, this is like a love affair that's gonna last forever, and I just
she'll carry him to the European title.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, it's all about the feud with The Rock, IC title, Triple H, European title. I'm just happy that some mid carders are getting some shine right now.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing.
By the way, I'm flexing with an all-time wrestling shirt on right now.
What do you have?
That's Dusty Rhodes, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
that's a hell of a shirt.
Wait,
this NWA shirt. There's a classic photo of him covered in blood wearing this.
Is Barstool Trent 6 inches off screen and just dead silent this whole time?
No, he's in his room.
Okay. Would be very funny.
He's there.
Yeah.
Is Trent a wrestling guy?
No, we've sort of tried to get him into it. Yeah, the Couch Crew.
He would love this shit, you would think.
That's a good question. What would you, if you're trying to get somebody into wrestling, what would you start them with?
Probably like a WrestleMania 17 TLC, something balls to the wall spot fest.
I would show TLC. It's just the best.
At this point, Edge, Christian, Hardy Boys.
At this point, you could show someone. I think Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker, WrestleMania 25, or John Cena versus CM Punk, Money in the Bank. Yes. Something like where the crowd needs to be. Yeah.
I would say for the crowd reaction, but for just how cool wrestling can be, TLC, there's nothing better. Look how cool it can be. Oh, you think it's fake? Well, he's doing a swanton bomb 35 feet onto a ladder. That's not that fake.
Yeah, any Money in the Bank match, pretty much Money in the Bank, are always spot fests, fun.
Or New Japan, some of you guys just don't.
I mean, you could show someone Will Ospreay and Ricochet.
That match is awesome. So good.
Just play WCW and W Revenge. I'm hard goes on that one right there. Favorite wrestling video game? Around the horn.
Ooh.
WrestleMania 20 for N64. I played that until the cartridge broke.
No Mercy for N64. The first SmackDown for PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I go SmackDown Shut Your Mouth for PS2.
Yeah, it's WCW NWO Revenge N64 for me.
What Jared was talking about, the original SmackDown for PlayStation, I played at Andrew Barrow's house for literally 14 hours a day until we got in trouble. Like it was, we got in a ton of trouble for playing the original PlayStation, like right when PlayStation came out, the SmackDown game for unlimited amount of hours. Shout out to Andrew Barrow.
Shout out to Andrew Barrow.
Oh my God, Triple H just tried to take the Shawn turnbuckle bump. It didn't go the way it goes with Shawn.
China's bicep is flexing.
I would love China's arms.
I'd love China's body outside of the boobs.
Yeah.
I'd love her dick.
I'd love her height.
You always just gotta go there, huh?
I mean, I saw that X-Pac tape.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yikes.
Yeah, I got a little horny when Sonny was on earlier. I'll wear that.
Buddy, let me tell you about quarantine. Candy Six Form, it's out there, brother. There's she's got a few videos out there. She also has done interviews where she goes decade by decade and then promotion by promotion talking about all the wrestlers that she's had sex with. Oh. It's a journey, and I advise you to take it. It's something.
Maybe we'll do a rewatch of that next.
Yeah. They asked her like any WCW guys, and she was like, "Ew, no." It's like, what do you mean? Like she's in a position to be saying no to ECW guys. Come on.
That's like I was gonna say that's like someone who we hear a lot about from not current day, but maybe like 10 years ago, who banged the entire locker room. But
yeah.
Whoa!
What?
Should we say it?
Accidental nut shot.
Oh, that guy's waving.
Somebody had a sign that just said Leslie too. That was the best one. People would bring signs just to say hello to people because people didn't have cell phones. So it was like, I'll bring a sign and you'll see me, and that'll be my way of saying hi to you in the middle of the show. How cool will that be?
They should still ban cell phones. Just like the cameras when you have to wind the wheel and you take the picture. It should only be allowed.
We got a nice disposable camera in the front row.
I love it.
That girl in the pink shirt's going crazy right now.
You're crazy.
I like that the audience is like kind of like, I feel like some people are rooting for Triple H, the DX crowd, but then there's also a bunch for Owen. I always love when the crowd was 50-50 on a match.
Yeah, this was before DX was super cool.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, like at this point, I'm probably like, this guy Triple H, like if Shawn's leaving, he's cooked. Like that kind of limits his ceiling. He doesn't have like he's not going to be the guy to like rocket him to the top. Turns out it was like the best thing that probably ever happened for him, right?
Yeah.
The best thing that ever happened to Triple H was him deciding to be billed from Greenwich, Connecticut instead of New Hampshire. Yeah. Triple H isn't Triple H if he's billed from New Hampshire.
Oh, China. Just blind as Sergeant.
What was this ref's name? I always loved this ref. He was my guy.
Tim White.
Tim White, yes.
Oh, the patented low blow.
He did didn't he do like a suicide angle? And they were like, we gotta axe this real quick. It wasn't like when was that time period?
I don't know.
Oh, Hunter. Classic.
Fucking slaughter. Goddamn.
Classic nut punch finish.
Triple H has to have a pretty ridiculous WrestleMania record, no?
I think he's under
actually
500.
Losses. He's got he's got some of the most losses in WrestleMania history. I think he has the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, HBK is like well below 500 too, Mr. WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That when the entrance question, best entrance, the HBK and the zip line, that's the first that always went in my head because that's always
the zip line and WrestleMania 25 when he came from the heavens wearing the white version of the Undertaker's attire. Yep. It was awesome.
never saw that. That sounds pretty fucking awesome.
I will say people shit
One
on
for good
Undertaker
measure.
20-minute entrances. When you're live and you see it, it's pretty cool the whole time. It's a very live thing. On TV, after like 3 minutes, you're like, all right, hurry up. I'm a sucker.
I feel like I got tired of it so many years ago. I haven't thought an Undertaker entrance live was cool.
I'm a sucker.
Oh,
Worst
you need
entrance
to back
ever.
off on this.
Worst
Bob.
entrance ever is Biker Undertaker with
No.
Limp Bizkit and no cheat.
Rolling.
That was awesome. That
I
was the
can't
best.
stand it. I can't
That
stand
was
it.
the best. That's
I don't
all
like
I want
change.
out of the Undertaker.
Like, just you're Undertaker. Just come out with the bells. I don't need Limp Bizkit.
He's
with you.
basically both right now. Like the angle that they're running with like
Yeah.
him
I know,
basically
and it
being in.
stinks.
It's yeah. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet.
Commit.
But yeah,
Have him
he's
come out to the
basically-
Limp Bizkit or the Kid Rock. I don't care. Pick one or the other.
I mean, Fred Durst could for sure use the money.
Fred Durst don't need the money. He's fine.
Yeah, he's got that commercial in that he's in right now with the mom in the minivan or whatever.
His net worth. Guess what his net worth is? I looked it up like yesterday.
It's $110 million. It's $110 million.
It's like 25 million.
It's it's 174 million. Fred Durst is rich and he deserves to be rich.
And he deserves to be.
The lyricist of a generation.
He was the biggest name on TRL outside of NSYNC for a good year and a half. It was NSYNC and Limp Bizkit for a good year and a half.
And then Korn took over for a little bit.
Freak on a Leash, the best video of all time.
Great video. I loved a wholesome moment in the crowd right there. They cut to 4 guys wearing all guinea tees, 316 spray painted on all of them. And as soon as it cut to them, they started high-fiving each other. They were like, we did it! We did it!
This next match is like a minute long, right?
Yeah.
This video is longer than the match.
This is just pumping Sable up for her big push coming. Sable was my coming, she turned me into a man kind of moment.
Yeah.
Everyone has their wrestling girl. She was mine. Like, I was in love with Miss Elizabeth when I first learned what love was. Miss Sable made me a man, though.
Yes.
Sable was like 7th grade for me, and I was still confused. Like, I didn't completely understand what I was seeing. I was like, I don't know how to explain. I was just confused the whole time. I was like, what is she? Because I just never had seen that before.
Goldust was one of the worst guys to feud with because he was like a vicious guy. Like, I would never want to feud with Goldust in real life. Like, he's mean. He'll just do whatever. He'll dress up as your wife. He's out of control. And Big Cat's Goldust video is one of the more underrated Barstool videos I think ever. I could just watch it now and I just laughed. I just giggled the entire time. When he goes for the kiss on the cheek and then he does the lips, I was like, that's what I was like, this guy is a genius, a comedic genius right there, Dan Katz.
Luna Vachon. Ugh.
I'm going to say Luna Vachon dead.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yep.
That's like a sad game you can play, but I feel like you're like 50-50 with like, what is this now? This is about 20 years old.
You can only play it for a couple years, though, around this time. Like, once you get into the early 2000s, you're pretty safe on Alive.
There's a few people, my guy.
No, but I'm saying like outside of the obvious ones. Like, it's obviously like Eddie Guerrero, Benoit.
Yeah.
But like for the most part,
True.
you know who's dead or alive.
True.
Perry Saturn alive? Because like that whole crew, that was like that crew.
He's
dead?
big time. No, he's alive.
He's
alive.
Too.
Perry Saturn's alive?
Yes, he's alive.
Dead.
No, he's
dead.
Not. No, he's not. He's alive. No, he's not.
He's alive with the dead off. I didn't think I'd see this coming.
Yeah.
All right, let's get
Perry Saturn is
He's
alive.
alive.
He's just, like very much addicted to like meth.
Yeah, he's alive.
Okay, he's alive, but he's addicted to meth. You're right.
Thank you.
You're right.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
Hey, Perry Saturn, I'm sorry. You're alive.
He has a fucking Jason tattoo.
Yeah.
Let me see if we can get this on the screen here.
I thought he was dead because I remember someone blogged about him, and he's like heavy on meth.
Let's see.
But yeah, my bad. What about Dean Malenko?
Alive. He
Oh,
just
yeah.
did the Benoit special.
Yeah, he's been
I
working for
didn't
the
watch
WWE forever. I don't think Malenko ever stopped working for the WWE.
What? He's a manager or
Producer.
agent?
Yeah.
Is Kidman still doing it?
Yep.
I'll tell you what. The The FCW documentary on WWE Network is really good.
Yeah, it was.
I saw a preview for that. I haven't watched it yet. Worth
Really
worth
good.
watching. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I loved it.
Big time. It's such a cool, such a good crop of people that came up through that system too. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh no.
And that's like a good picture of him. Like he's like, because of the drugs, he's lost so much weight. Like he's a shell of himself.
He's like a faces of meth guy at this point.
Oh yeah.
This is also definitely drugged up Goldust era. He looks horrendous. Horrendous. Holy shit. Look at that. A little boxing crossover for you.
Was this around Tough Enough, or was Tough Enough later in
Later, I think, yeah.
Later. The next year, or right?
The first season of Tough Enough?
Or I'm thinking Brawl for All.
That's what I'm thinking. Brawl for All. Yep, I'm thinking Brawl for All too.
Yeah, that was the next year at WrestleMania, right? WrestleMania 15. Bart Gunn gets knocked out by Butterbean.
Like 3 seconds, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Is that more of a Perry Saturn?
Oh, yikes.
That's tough. That's a tough look.
I want to see this.
Where is it?
Oh yeah. It's sad.
All right, we can get that off the screen.
Yeah. Sable. I always loved Sable's fucking wrestling attire. It just like everything was like puffy, like Patrick Ewing knee pads, basically.
Yo, she walked so Trish could run, and I'll always love her for that.
I'll always love her for that.
Speaking of quarantine, how horny do you think Jerry Lawler is? Because he's the horniest man in television history.
Yeah.
So fucking horny, dude. Yo, you know who the horniest guy online is Jim Ross. JR retweets like porn onto his timeline.
It's because he's been hanging out with Jerry Lawler for 20 years.
It rubbed off on him. But I'll tell you what, you married guys, you guys have it good right now. Us who shoot our shots, we got nothing. There's nothing. It's tumbleweeds in the wind.
Dust in the wind.
I mean, I will say this: the whole marriage stereotype about what happens after you get married. We're not exactly flush right now. We're not in a gold rush right now in my house.
Yeah, Nate, I'll trade. I'm sure Clem will too. You can come spend a weekend. You can live with my kid, and I'll gladly stay alone for a weekend.
It's a big grass is always greener situation for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
We're all miserable.
Oh yeah. Everybody I talk to in a different situation, whether they're by themselves, with a roommate, with their family, with whatever, everybody's like, I wish I was doing this. I wish I was doing that. Nobody's completely content with where they are, and it makes everybody feel better. It's like, yeah, everybody wishes that they had someone else. Maybe besides Bob and Trent. They seem perfect, but
I'm going back to Jersey too next
week.
Oh,
you are?
Yeah, I'm losing my mind. Our apartment's too small to just be staying here. And in Jersey, my mom lives in like a condo complex with like tennis courts and areas to walk around and a big backyard area where I could go walk my dogs. So I think that's probably the smart option. I think I'll have more fun there. And I could take her car, go on long drives. That seems fun to me.
I will say I can't imagine doing this in an apartment. Like, luckily I'm in a house and can kind of do my own thing and everything like that. I couldn't imagine apartment life during this. I don't know how you guys in New York are surviving.
Bad. I'm thinking about cracking to the pressure and getting a Peloton, like just giving it to me. But I have nowhere to put it in my apartment besides the space between my couch and the TV, and I'm just gonna put it there because I don't know what else to do. Like, Clem, you're chipping in, right?
Yeah, I told you I'll buy you. I said I can't. I'll give you something just because I feel like we got to be in this together.
How much are those Pelotons?
This really, like, the worst.
What, Clem?
2,000, you said, Nate?
Yeah, they're about $2,000.
How much are the Peloton?
They're like $2,000. They're really expensive.
I dropped $1,000 on a new guitar and it hasn't even shipped yet. And I was like, oh fuck. Well, I bought a guitar thinking I'll use this time to really learn some guitar. No.
I'll tell you what, the punk show, the first show back at McCulkey's in 2022 is going to be awesome.
Electric, right? Yeah.
Can't wait.
Is the Barstool Best Bar thing over?
Oh, yeah, Sub Dogs won.
Woo! What
Back
about
to
that?
back.
That could be our first show back. Maybe Sup Dogs, because Sup Dogs was still to this day possibly the craziest show we ever played.
Sup Dogs back-to-back champions for the Barstool Best Bar Contest.
Who was
Congrats.
was it T-Pain there last year with you guys? Is that who it was?
T-Pain, yeah.
Yeah.
All I do is win. Yeah.
And that was still one of my one of the more surreal moments ever. Was we had that on our set list because it was the school's song somehow. It's not their song, but it's a song they love. They play at sporting events, whatever. So we learned it. Roan learned the rap, everything, the verses, and we show up and they're like, T-Pain might show up and do it with you guys. We were like, what? All right, fuck it, we'll do it with T-Pain. And midway through the show, Gaz is side stage, and he's like, so I kind of walk over. We're in between songs, and he's like, T-Pain is here. He said, if you do, all I do is win. He's leaving. Do not do it. Can you cut it off your set? We were like, of course we can. So we cut it. We did like everything up to that point, and then got off stage, and then out of nowhere, T-Pain just walked out of a hallway. They hit it. Dante the Don hit it, and boom, there you go. All I do is win. The rest is history. I uploaded a clip of that to TikTok. That's my most viral TikTok.
Huh.
Sable just screaming at people.
Who is this referee? I feel like he's a classic guy too, but I don't even know his name. He must be calling it down the middle for me to not know his name.
No clue.
We talked about Robbie brought up how DX is red. The X was weird on the shirt. Seeing Goldust in a red face.
Yeah, I hate it.
Really weird too.
Yeah, what was this? I don't remember this get up at all.
It was his weird, he was going into artist formerly known as era.
Oh. And then remember when he went as like Dustin Runnels and was like found Jesus and shit?
Yeah.
That's when I still thought it was real, brother.
What was the the angle? Was like Goldust TV or something like that, where he was spying on people? But they never actually finished the angle, right? I feel like
that was a little later. That was
ZTV or something.
What was that? That was probably 5 years after this, but I don't think I think they just stopped it. I can't remember anything ever happening with that.
It was like they were watching Big Show take a piss.
Yeah.
Some of the things, like some of the segments they have, Jared, I was telling them before, I started rewatching WrestleManias a year after this one, so 99. I'm up through 08 now in the last week and a half. Some of the segments that they did back in the day, and I said back in the day, like 01, I can't imagine trying to pitch that now.
You cannot get away with that. No. I mean, like even stuff up until like Vince McMahon was dropping N-bombs like 3 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, Vince wanted his own daughter to be in an incest segment with him, and she was like, Dad, no, dude.
No, dude.
2017.
She had that weird, like when Vince was fighting with Shane, and like Linda was comatose or whatever with Trish, and Steph had that whole daddy's girl. That was weird, and that was like 01, 2000, somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the original season of SmackDown, that's when she got married to Triple H after he drugged her.
Yep.
And they got married at a drive-through chapel when she was still engaged.
And the crowd was like, woohoo!
Yeah, and the crowd was like, yeah, drug that bitch!
He was the good guy for doing that.
Oh, yeah. Test was the bad guy. And, I mean, Test isn't with us anymore. But that was,
what a finish.
That was a crazy time.
Oh, it's not the finish. I bought in.
Wow, Bob.
So this ended up being a long match. Didn't we say this was like a 3-minute match?
No, I thought it was a 2-minute match. I was wrong. Terrible finish. Ugh.
Yeah, that's a finish that he obviously couldn't hit on everybody.
Wait, he just stopped counting.
Yeah, GTV, that's what it was.
She's going to break that up.
So I just did a little bit of research here. Apparently GTV, I thought it was Goldust TV, but I mean, this is from whatculture.com. It says Chris Jericho suggested that comedian and entertainer Tom Green was supposed to be behind GTV. And apparently Vince McMahon saw Green's work and thought he wasn't funny and canned the angle. So Tom Green could have been involved, according to what'sculture.com. So this is Big Show taking a piss. Al Snow was, I don't remember what he was doing. He was talking to I don't know if he was ordering something. There was some weird shit there.
What does everybody want? Can't say that anymore. Al Snow, just everybody screaming head. I don't think you can do that anymore.
In ECW, the whole crowd had those styrofoam heads.
Head. And then the other one is obviously The Godfather. The hoe train. Like
the hoe train.
Talking about rolling fatties and having hoes and being their pimps. That was like I was like a 13-year-old, like hoe train. Like, no wonder my parents didn't let me watch this.
Yeah, like my mom would watch like The Godfather coming out. She'd say, "What is this?" I was like, "Well, that's The Godfather, and those are the hoes, Mom."
I'll be right back. I'm gonna pop some chicken tendies in the air fryer.
Humble brag.
Yeah, not a big deal.
Oh.
I blogged the New Age Outlaws.
Deposit Bob over there with the fucking money bags.
The fucking money.
Got his stimulus working for him now.
What'd you say, Clem?
I blogged the New Age Outlaws today, and like Road Dogg is like, "We're gonna do it at the doghouse, doggy style," and he's humping the ropes the entire crowd. He's like, and he goes like, "Biatch," and I'm just like, this was just said, and like the entire arena was saying it. Like you said, our parents were right to hide us from this shit.
Yeah, when he's like doing it doggy style. Yeah, like how are we so okay with this?
The Road Dogg used to do like the pump handle slam, and before he would do it, he would hump his opponent's ass.
That's right.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Someone tweeted or retweeted the other day some like ESPN special about how kids were being suspended from school for doing the suck it.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that was like, I remember we had a like announcement at lunch, like, please don't do the suck it thing. You will get lunch detention if you do suck it. And so we had to not do suck. Like we would like be standing in line for milk and just giving each other the suck it, and we all got in trouble for it. So we were told that if we did it again, we would get lunch detention. So that's how they shut it down at my school.
I mean, that the most like iconic thing of wrestling and sign in general is the suck it sign. That just shows like where we were back in the day. You could walk around just screaming "suck it" with an X around your dick, and everyone's like, "Okay, I know what that means. Yeah, that's fine."
We used to do backyard wrestling, and we would wear like the T-shirts of the wrestlers that we were pretending to be, and we would just beat the fuck out of each other. Like there was no like wrestling moves. It was just like fist fights with like punches to the head. That didn't work out great.
We did it on a trampoline, so like we were safe about it.
Yeah, we had that.
But we made up our own characters, and we would do it on the trampoline. And I'll tell you what, I learned how to do like a backflip on a trampoline because I always loved the Hardy Boys. So I was doing top rope moves, and I could do a swanton bomb like you wouldn't believe. Like it was so much fun to do a swanton bomb.
Our steel chairs were fucking cookie sheets. We just fucking crush each other in the head with cookie sheets.
No protection?
No.
Did you guys have like finishing moves? Like my finishing move, I would do the ankle lock like Ken Shamrock, and I would try to break someone's ankle to make them submit. That was like my go-to move.
I would do the X Factor.
I would DDT people.
Big choke.
I always did the sweet chin music.
Yeah, go back and watch my choke slam on Bob when I first came to the Barstool office for the first time. You can notice I've fucking done that before.
Damn near killed me with that, brother.
Oh, broke your goddamn neck.
Fucking potatoed me. Stiff. Almost ended my run in New York.
So this chick, whoever she is, that is back now. Whoever she is. Who is this?
Who is this? I don't know who this is. With
It's
Jeff
like
Jarrett, I assume some recording artist.
Is that Dolly Parton?
Yep. Jennifer Flowers.
Oh, that's the Bill Clinton girl.
The what girl?
That's the original Bill Clinton sexual harassment case girl, Jennifer Flowers.
Oh, that makes sense.
Shout out Bob Fox and Trent Ryan sent me cookies and milk for my birthday.
From Insomnia?
Uh-huh.
The Couch Crew, had to.
How good. A great move. Very classy. Very classy.
I'm
You're our
mad.
guy. Come on.
I live 1 mile.
I'm the kid in the GIF.
I live 1 mile outside of where Insomnia can deliver in Cincinnati, and it's the most heartbreaking thing whenever I go on.
Yeah,
Like,
you live in Ohio, so you deserve it.
I would move.
Do you remember the old Barstool office was like they would deliver to our Chipotle, but not us? It was literally we were on the cutoff.
Fun fact about the old Barstool office: we still pay rent for both floors.
Jesus,
I love that.
It's my favorite antidote, whatever that word is.
Oh, and here he is, the most electric man in sports entertainment, always based.
Here he is.
So at this point, Rock, like in the storyline, he's at this point, like, he's about to break away from the nation. He's like getting too big, and Farouk doesn't like it. Is this right, Bobo?
Yes. This is The Rock's kind of I don't know how you would describe it.
Rocky sucks. Rocky
It was a weird, it was a fast rise, but also a slow rise at the same time. This was a massive match for him on the rise, though.
When was the ladder match with Triple H for the Intercontinental title?
SummerSlam this
98?
year, I believe.
98? Yeah.
Yeah. Highway to Hell.
D'Lo Brown.
This is that's a crazy chair shot. That is a crazy chair shot. Crazy. The Rock had a fucking vendetta.
God.
It was crazy. Nobody hit anyone harder in the face with chairs than The Rock.
It hurts to watch.
Always when it was the most unnecessary.
Yeah, like the Royal Rumble match with Mick Foley. Like, come on, dude. Fucking
Crazy.
18 headshots.
His kids were in the front row, and he tried to fucking kill the guy.
He's still pissed about that, right? I thought I heard that somewhere. Like, Mick's still upset about that.
Yeah, I mean,
well, he wrote about it in his book because The Rock never apologized.
He says publicly that they've talked about it, but he still seems kind of not happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he probably knows that took years off his life.
Yeah.
Just getting beamed in the head with a chair.
Mick doesn't have a lot of years left in his life. He didn't need any more taken off by The Rock with chair shots that were unnecessary. I like The Rock's trunks back then too. I like that the pop of that color.
I like when he did the blue Brahma Bull just on his trunks.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Rock.
Who blogged when he got the tattoo? Was that you, Bob, or was that you? I think probably you.
That was me.
Too.
That was years ago when he covered up the Brahma Bull with the full tattoo, and I was like, "This is the end of the Rock."
That ended my childhood.
Yeah, that was. That must have been 2013, 14. Boom.
Yeah, that was a shame. I wish he didn't do that.
Yeah, because the Brahma Bull has to be one of the most famous or iconic tattoos, not just in wrestling,
no doubt.
but in any sport.
Pop culture, yeah. I got it. I remember the first time I ever went to Disney when I was 4, I got the airbrush, Brahma Bull. It's the number one thing they could make you a tiger on your face, or they could give you the Rock's tattoo on your arm. And that was 2002. So
that and the
him covering up is crazy.
Goldberg's tribal tattoo is pretty popular.
That's up there.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
And don't forget CM Punk's Pepsi tattoo.
The Pepsi tattoo. Batista's belly button tattoo.
I have not seen the New Jack episode of Dark Side of the Ring. I will be watching it probably tomorrow. I'm fascinated with New Jack. Almost more fascinated with New Jack than any other wrestler. I have been in the same room as New Jack. He has looked me in the eyes, and I have shit myself as he did that.
Considering
so I will be watching it tomorrow.
Multiple.
Yeah. Twice. 3 times maybe? Yeah.
Mass Transit is dead.
Mass Transit's dead. He stabbed the guy in the ring in the indie show.
I'm thinking of who's the guy that he threw off the 30 foot where he almost threw him out the ring.
He did. He fucking he hit the ropes and went to the outside. Yeah. And New Jack had an indie match where the dude punched him in the face for real. So he took out a blade and stabbed him 7 times, and then got arrested. And then after he got arrested, this was already his second potential felony. And the dude that he's
in the ring,
the dude, in the ring. And then the dude that he stabbed was like, "Hey, I'll drop the charges if we like make this into like an angle, and then we can like travel and build up this feud." And New Jack was like, "All right, deal." And then he dropped the charges. And New Jack was like, "All right, see you later, buddy. Fuck you." And then he never talked to him again.
Jesus.
All-time piece of shit. I love
Just
it.
got out of 10 years of jail time.
Yeah. For people's elbow.
Oh,
The millions.
I forgot The Rock had a little shimmy on his kicks back in the day. I like that. Does he still do that whenever is he even wrestle anymore?
If we can afford to.
The calf exposed boots were also a staple of The Rock's attire. I've never seen anyone else do that.
I
Yeah,
never
that's
noticed that.
different. Yeah.
Ricochet said years ago that he was going to do it because he's a massive Rock mark. Like, if you really pay attention to Ricochet's fundamentals, he does everything exactly like The Rock does, which I think is cool because he's one of those guys that wears his inspirations on his sleeve.
Yeah.
He
Poor
used to do the
guy.
people's
Poor
moonsault
guy.
on the Indies.
Poor guy.
Oh god.
Oh, the headshot. Oh,
Oh.
every time it gets me. I'm like becoming the old man or the old woman who watches football, and I go, oof, oof. Like I can't watch the hard hits anymore. It like pains me to watch.
I think it pains any wrestling fan to watch chair shots to the head, and that's speaking with experience of watching like with my brother, with friends, just on the basis of we know that is like the direct cause for so many people.
Yeah. Like I make those sounds. Like I'm like 2 years from asking if the players can see the yellow line on the field. I'm just aging so poorly right now.
Man, I feel like Ken Shamrock's one of the, if not the, like, forgotten great characters.
WWE, they fucking shunned him. They
Right,
just,
I'm saying, like,
everything.
when you start listing characters from, like, this era, he's so far down the list of when people start listing
Wow, The
names.
Rock tapped?
Yeah.
Wow.
Tapped right away, too.
How many times has he tapped in his career? Like, it can't be that many.
I think it would probably be more than you expect because back then there was like so much more, like it wasn't as much a stigma against it. I feel like that came in with like the Cena era of, oh my God, let's make sure no baby faces ever tap out.
Bob, does Rock Y2J have a classic?
That was so bad. That Mark Henry.
Not that I could think of.
Did you say,
I wonder
does
why not.
Jericho have a WrestleMania Classic?
With The Rock, he said that The
With
Rock
The
and
Rock.
Jericho.
Oh.
Did they
Not
never really have a
One
good
that comes to mind.
anything?
They probably have like a Stephanie promo on SmackDown where they
Wait.
called her misogynistic names.
What about when Jericho won the Undisputed title? Wasn't that in a triple threat match with The Rock?
Rock, Austin.
No, he beat
Jericho.
The Rock and Austin on the same night, but I don't think
Yeah.
people look at that match as a classic.
So they never did a real feud, huh?
They might have feuded because I know they
Jericho's
had
debut.
promos where, and they had promos where they went back and forth like classic ones. I don't think they have a classic match though.
Yeah, because like
Fun.
everyone remembers Jericho's debut, but I can't tell you the match that led to.
My favorite Jericho feud is Jericho Benoit for the Intercontinental title.
It was really good. Mine is Jericho HBK 2008, which is I don't know how they recaptured the magic of their first feud, but they fucking did it. And then they eventually caused the WWE to go PG because they went so far over the line.
Yeah.
What angle was that?
The Jericho HBK 2008 feud. Where Jericho fucking blinded him on the Jeritron, and they had that match where they went back and forth on the ladder with holding the title. Oh, it's so good.
I always
World's most
loved
dangerous man just being dangerous right now.
I always loved when the WWE would send out like their front office guys to break up a fight.
Yeah.
Pat Patterson.
Yeah.
And you want to know a fun fact? The guy that we just put out that like super kick video when I got kicked in the face, the guy that kicked me is now sort of like one of those guys. He's a producer at the WWE.
Oh, really?
And every time there's a pull apart brawl, you'll see him running out in a suit, and he's like the guy to be like, "Come on, guys, break it up."
Who is it?
Pat Buck.
Pat Buck, yeah, I pop every time he runs out because he's like a really good friend of mine. Like he was a guy that helped me get a start in the business and stuff. So every time he runs out, I'm like, oh shit, he's about to fucking take a bump for Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I would say he's breaking up like Brock Lesnar or someone, just 75-year-old man.
Literally, yeah. I always shoot him a text like 5 minutes later, like, sick. Thanks for keeping our boys safe. We got to keep this sport clean.
Where's the damn security these days?
Oh, I'll always send him some kayfabe text like that. It cracks us up. It's good stuff. All right, let me go get those chicken tenders. They're done.
Next night, I was told when I was throwing this around, they said like the night after this at Raw was like a huge one. I'm guessing that's when The Rock and the Nation split, and then whatever the fallout from Austin and all that shit was. So
it has to be the way that Farouk ends this with jumping up and not helping.
Yeah, and he's in the stretcher to make it a little more dramatic and everything.
Ken Shamrock, all-time great crazy eyes.
Yes, Kurt Thomas level.
What are you guys all doing on this weekend? Do you have any weekend plans?
I'm golfing because you're actually allowed to golf. Golfing Sunday.
How does that work?
So the course that we play at is they spread out the tee times. Instead of 9 minutes apart, it's 20 minutes apart. They put a pool noodle in the hole so you don't ever touch anything.
Huh.
And it's just, you just stay 6 feet away from the guys you're playing with.
You're playing with somebody?
Yeah, I played Ohio has had it open the entire time.
Clem, you got anything?
No, it's just basically I feel like during the weekends I have to like help out with the kids because my wife is basically alone with them as I blog during the day. Yeah. So it's like we actually have to. I think it's supposed to be nice weather here, so this is the thing that's going to save at least those of us in like sticks is we can at least get out of the house and like stay in our yards and stuff like that. Where like I mean in the city, I don't know how I like you guys were saying earlier, I would have lost my mind already if I was in Manhattan.
Why I'm going to my roof every day at 2 and just getting on Periscope. It's like the first time I talk out loud is at 2 o'clock on Periscope, and like I'm getting fresh air. I'm talking out loud for 20 minutes, and that it makes my day. It's like, all right, I've now communicated with another human. That feels good.
We've had beautiful weather here like all week, so we've been going for a walk at like 5:30. And it's been awesome because every single person in our neighborhood has been sitting out on their front porch, just like sitting there taking in the weather and just talking to anybody that walks by. And I'm like, I don't care if I'm like stereotypical like neighborhood sticks right now. I'm saying hello to every single person just to talk and to get out of my house.
Oh, yeah. All my neighbors I haven't talked to for years. I've lived here, even at my parents' old neighborhood where I grew up. I'm saying hi to people I had never said a word to in 30 plus years. It's like
I've met more people in 5 days than I have in the 2.5 years I've lived in this neighborhood.
Clem, you gonna get a dog?
I think Clem's frozen again.
Might have lost Clem.
What a hilarious picture. Oh, the dumpster. Not the dumpster.
Was this the Outlaws versus like Terry Funk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cactus Jack.
Cactus.
And then no, never mind. I was thinking of a different when Kane pops up out of the dumpster and hits Mick Foley in the head with a sledgehammer.
I don't know that.
Oh no, or was that Vader? It was Vader, maybe?
I think it is Vader you're thinking of, yeah. Oh, he was wrestling as Chainsaw Charlie here?
Yeah.
I think
I gotta get one of those Funk You shirts. That's such a classic wrestling shirt to have. I gotta get one.
Do you have a Cactus Jack shirt?
Yeah. I got it at one of his stand-up shows. For a while, they were like pretty hard to get.
Yeah. BFI Dumpster. Wow.
How do you rank the Mick Foley characters?
Mankind, Cactus Jack, Dude Love.
Great.
Well, Mick, where you put Mick in
I would put Mick.
Mick.
I don't know. That's not.
Dude love is lame to me.
Yeah.
I've never been a dude love guy. I get that that's sort of the point, but never did it for me in the way where I was like rooting for him, like I was rooting for the others. I probably go Mankind,
Cactus Jack, Mick Foley.
Yeah, no,
Dude
you gotta go. Yeah, that's the order.
Dude, I'll tell you what. My favorite thing is I could almost put Cactus Jack first, actually, because when he goes, his name is Cactus Jack, like that, him bringing back the character, I pop
awesome
every time.
But I was also thinking him wrestling as Mick Foley in the later half of his career is so underrated because he had that, like, you got to embrace the underdog aspect of his character and like the real life aspect. So the Mick Foley character, I mean, he's one of the all-time greats. He really is.
I mean, I when I saw him in person at whatever that pay-per-view was in DC, like I shed a tear. I was like, this is freaking Mick Foley, like 10 feet from me. Like, I love this guy. I get a little emotional because Mick Foley's one of those people who have literally put their life on the line just for the love of the game. Like, you can literally look at Mick Foley and be like, that guy gave up 20 years of his life just for the entertainment value. And that makes me feel like emotional knowing that he knows it too. Like, he's going to die early because for us. And like, I respect the fuck out of that. So I got a little emotional seeing him live and in person.
That was my dude. Mick Foley was my guy. Like, obviously the Rock and Stone Cold, like, but Mick Foley, and when Mankind finally won, which was such a shitty thing for WC. When WCW did that, I love how it blew up in their face when that little fucking cocksucker Shavano or whatever fucking spoils it, and then everyone flips to see him actually win. Like that. God, I hate those. I hated WCW after that.
When you were locked up there, Clem, we were debating the rankings of Mick Foley characters.
Ooh. Oh, man. I mean, I'm sure people love Cactus Jack, but Mankind was so deranged. He's my one. And Dude Love was so preposterous. He's like my two. Like, it's a clear one.
We had a consensus Dude Love last.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, I think if we all grew up playing WWE video games, we have a skewed perception of Dude Love because for whatever reason, like Dude Love was always the hardest Mick Foley character to beat in the video games. I don't know why.
That's so true.
I have no fucking idea why. It'd be like Dude Love would come out and it's like, oh fuck, like how, like better save it now because I'm gonna have to restart from this point.
Dude, I'll tell you what, always when I did the create a wrestler guy, my guy always came out with the bang bang. Every single time I would come out bang bang. It's me and my friend across the street, Troy Gleason, we made our create a wrestler. His name was Bang Bang, and he came out and did Bang Bang. And so I always have a soft spot for Cactus Jack.
Cactus Jack, like where did Cactus Jack originate? Did he originate in like WCW in Japan, ECW? Where did like the Cactus Jack persona?
WCW, right?
I think Japan even before WCW.
Was that like
probably like an indie before Japan?
With like the fucking barbed wire matches.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
that makes sense.
That same visual comes to my head when I think of that. It's like the Mick Foley and the barbed wire ropes against Terry Funk, just tearing their bodies to pieces.
Terry Funk looks
like the C4, quote unquote C4.
Dude, they blew themselves to pieces.
They literally blew themselves up.
They're the best, man. Terry Funk's still alive? That's like an upset. Yep. He's still alive.
Yeah, he's like Mick Jagger.
I think he's like still wrestling, sorta. I think he just retired again last year.
He must be in such pain every moment of his day.
I don't like to think about it. Maybe DDP saved them.
I forgot about them getting thrown out of like off the stage in the dumpster though. And they're like shaking and stuff. They're convulsing. That was a pretty dramatic. Like that kind of was 90s WWF. Like when you see the Macho Man get bit by the snake and they didn't show it, like stuff like that disturbs you. Papa Shango, like we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about how their storylines you couldn't just even come close to pitching this day. The Billy and Chuck storyline. That has to be the most ridiculous one, right?
They got kind of caught.
Started the.
Vince McMahon did Billy and Chuck. It was when they couldn't do Badass Billy Gunn anymore, so they had them pegged as heels. Like, oh look, they're gay. What a heel thing to be. And the crowd embraced them. They were like, this is kind of cool. Like, whatever, we'll cheer for them. And Vince never saw that coming. Like, because Vince is Vince.
Right.
And do you remember how the payoff was? It was supposed to be the wedding, and basically they just broke kayfabe on TV. They're like, we really appreciate you guys embracing us. Like, we're not really sure what to do now, but it's pretty cool that you guys like us.
Is this when they locked Cactus Jack and Terry Funk into the dumpster and throw it off the stage?
No, that was before this.
That's what started the feud, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, cookie sheet. Cookie sheet time. Let's go. This is where we fucking got it from. We were like, all right, we can't do chairs, but we'll do cookie sheets.
Count the headshots.
We're up to like 7 already.
So it just gives me the heebie-jeebies. It's so violent.
Are we sure at some point Kane doesn't pop out of this fucking dumpster?
Did what?
Are we sure Kane doesn't pop out of this dumpster at some point?
No,
Yes.
no.
Why would Kane pop out of this dumpster? Kane's wrestling Undertaker on this card.
But he's fucking Tombstone and Pete Rose and still wrestling the Undertaker in this card. You can't count him out for anything. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it was tonight, but Kane pops out of a dumpster when you didn't know that he was in there, and he hits either Mick Foley or Vader in the head with a sledgehammer. I know I'm not crazy.
Somebody in the chat, find the clip.
Yeah, someone find the clip. I can't even. How do I see the fucking chat? It just says private chat. I want to see the people.
No, you have to go to the scope.
Oh, there's a fucking Periscope. Got it. How many people are watching?
What you're looking at is just like the software.
We are at 125 right now. Ish.
Okay.
Why is that?
1 hour, 25 minutes. That's the timestamp.
Well, the link you sent us via text, Clem, says broadcast not found.
Oh, all right. Hold on. Sorry. Yeah, that I realized it was. I thought I had fucked up a different link. All right, let me send that. Okay, got it.
What year did the Dudley Boys really blow up?
They had like different peaks. Like they were the fucking kings of ECW, and then there was also like, I don't know, Bob, 4 or 5 different Dudley brothers in ECW.
Spike.
Yeah, they had Big Dick Dudley, Spike Dudley. They had Sign Guy Dudley. Yeah.
But when I should specify, when did Devo and Bubba like blow up in WWF?
It was the same time as Too Cool, Edge and Christian, Hardy Boys.
TLC.
It was with the TLC stuff. Yeah,
It's like
TLC was all of them.
2001, 2000.
There's probably like a Monday Night War documentary on it, on just the way that they all elevated each other in that time period, the 3 tag teams.
Right, because I'm just thinking, watching this tag team match, so we're right on the cusp of that era. So I didn't know. I was trying to figure out like where they were in comparison.
Do not sleep on Too Cool. It's not just Edge and Christian, Dudleys and Hardys. Too Cool.
I mean, Too Cool was good, but they're not in the realm with those 3.
They were so over in my brain that like
they were super over for sure.
Yeah, no,
but they were also
were,
like,
I know what you're saying, but like they were so fucking cool. Like I bought those yellow sunglasses that they put on before they did. They were so awesome.
Oh man, once they got Rikishi in the mix too, those were the days, man. Those were the goddamn
Dude,
days.
they were tag team champions. They came on as like a gimmick joke tag team, and they got so over. They were tag team champions in that era with the New Age Outlaws, Edge and Christian, Dudleys. Like that's how over they got.
It's crazy. It was that just goes to show you that. I mean, we kind of see it with bloggers, or sometimes you'll just do something, a shtick or a joke, and it just hits and it doesn't make sense. And I think that was something with them where they just did it probably to like get those guys to do some work, and it just fucking exploded. And then Rikishi like that like was like that wasn't from the beginning, right? That just started like a few months after they started getting on, right?
I don't even know where he came from. He was just there one day, and they were like, "This works."
Yeah. Wait,
I don't
Bob,
think they
of your
ever
ass
explained
Bob,
why.
can you
Like,
help me there? Rikishi, I'm with Jared. Rikishi one day just entered the main event scene. I don't know where he
I don't
came
know.
from.
I don't know when his debut. Yeah, I don't know
No,
who trained him. I don't know if he came from a different company.
I have
yeah,
no clue. I just know one day Rikishi was getting chokeslammed off Hell in the Cell. I was like, that's my main eventer.
yeah. They're like, "All right, here's like Jerry
Station.
Lawler's son."
He was in the wild. He was in one of the Samoan tag teams for sure at some point. I don't know.
We did not do a lot of stink face on the trampoline in the backyard wrestling. That's where we drew the line. We're like, all right, let's
That's where we drew the line.
Each other.
Yeah, growing up in New England, we would do obviously trampoline wrestling, but when it started to snow outside, we would do like backyard wrestling in the snow, and I just remember getting fucking smoked with like a baseball barrel sized icicle. Like we used to hit each other with the icicles and they would break and like we would sell it, but just an icicle the size of a baseball bat that had no give and it was basically like a lead pipe in the fucking head.
Look at the forklift driving by Terry Funk, by the way. These things are not as easy to drive as he's making it look.
This was awesome. I love when they would go backstage and go hardcore. The hardcore title is one of the greatest ideas ever created. Where it's on 24/7, it had to be defended.
I love a good backstage brawl always.
You don't see them at all anymore.
Really?
And when you do that, they're usually not like they don't have the same like spirit they used to. The like awesome, I don't know, on the go, raw, no pun intended.
Oh.
Terry Funk is so old.
Look at that bruise. Look at that bruise on his back. Look at that bruise.
Can I break some Barstool breaking news to you guys?
Oh, what is it?
We have a Chaps versus Jack Mac feud brewing right now.
Uh-oh.
Why?
Jack Mac tweeted, Lipstool is mad that Trump made a joke. And then Chaps said, can't wait for Jack to work at 4chan like the piece of shit he is.
Oh, no.
Fucking haymakers.
All right, whoa.
Oh, boy, am I here for this.
We got that going off. We just got a Big Cat retweet. We got the Spiral Ham Gang. They've been taking over all night. Working right now. Welcome to the Periscope, everybody.
Oh, shit, and look what's up next.
Let's go.
Undertaker versus Kane. Brother versus brother.
For anyone in the Spiral Ham Gang that has WWE Network.
Yeah, where are we? Where are we?
Have Undertaker versus Kane log on. What are we at right now? What's the timestamp?
I'm at 1 hour 31:20.
Yeah, me too. Me and Nate are like lockstep right now.
Yeah. Dude, this is Jared. This is your Kane. This is Kane. This is the Kane.
This is not only just the Kane, but this is the match. Even though he loses, sorry, spoiler. I mean, obviously, you're a fucking idiot if you don't know that he loses. The Undertaker streak.
The Undertaker streak, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is
what got me into wrestling. This is Kane at his finest.
This is when Kane was legit terrifying.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Like, kept me up at night.
No mustache Paul Bearer, very terrifying as well.
Rest in peace.
Big rest in peace.
Yeah, he's big
rest in peace.
Yo, Bob, that CM Punk angle when he like was throwing around Paul Bearer's ashes.
His family signed off on that.
Oh, they did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
That's still one of the craziest angles though, to use a dead guy like that. Which, by the way, I hope
crazy.
That's what he would have wanted.
No, I'm saying if something happens to me, Barstool, by all means, do whatever you need. But it's still,
I'll do an angle. If Nate
something
ever died,
happens to me, don't
take his ashes and throw them in Robbie's face.
No. If something happens to me, don't rub my ashes on yourself. Don't do that.
I'm gonna have to.
That's the
business,
please
brother.
don't.
That's the business.
My mom would be so upset if someone rubbed my ashes on their head.
Well, listen, they weren't his real ashes, but they could have been. I don't know.
You can do that with mine, but Clem
Who
has to
knows?
get a full sleeve tattoo if so.
Yeah.
That's
Look
Look at this montage of Kane just fucking dumping people.
Mm-hmm. This is back when he had like magical powers and he could like shoot lightning out of his fucking hands.
I mean,
yeah.
he became a mayor. Like, there's nothing more ridiculous than the fact that Kane.
No, we didn't. No, two different guys. Two different guys.
It's just Kane is still in government.
He is in government, and he's a great mayor. Follows me on Twitter. Shout out.
I don't know what you guys were talking about.
Oh, it's just why the wrestling's the best.
The best.
Thing is, like, when this was happening, Kane was not a person behind. Like, Kane was just Kane.
He was Kane, right?
Yeah, there's
Terrifying.
no internet. Like, no one knew who the fucking guy was. No one knew who Glenn was right now.
Yeah, you couldn't even try to
It's
figure out.
so
what he
rough
looked
that
like.
his name's Glenn. Every time I hear it, man, still to this day, I'm just like Glenn. Glenn.
Oh, I hope Glenny Balls isn't in the room right now. Poor guy. At least he's kind of.
But that's the perfect example. Glenny
Yeah.
Balls is the most fun-loving, like as Dave calls him, a manatee. I tweeted today. I woke up today, and one of the first thoughts I had. This is not a bit. I'm not saying this for the stream. One of the first thoughts I had was, I really miss Glenny Balls.
Mm-hmm.
He's just the most lovable guy. Kane needs to be the opposite of that. He needs to be a guy you're terrified of.
That's true. That's a fair point. Glenny being, what does he say? He's like a manatee, just is roaming the office, like not a care in the world, always smiling.
Yeah, you said he just bumps into things. Yeah.
I mean, Clem, you went opposite Kane. You pretended to be a Glenn for like a solid year and a half.
I mean, yeah, basically have the Kane look there for a while. There, he had the full mask back then. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Now, Jared, were you a Kane guy from day one? Was that your dude?
Day one. Bad Blood 97 was the first pay-per-view that I saw, and it was his debut. And I remember my neighbors, I wasn't into wrestling yet. I was 8, and my neighbors across the street were like a little bit older than me. They were seniors when I was a freshman, and we would play like bounce pitch with like the tennis ball in the street. And I like one Sunday night, they were like, all right, we're going inside. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's still light outside. Like, where are you guys going? And then they were like, we were watching wrestling. And I go in and like, they're telling me about like, you know, the Undertaker and Shawn Michaels and trying to give me the backstory. And then this fucking dude in a red mask and a red suit comes and rips off the door. I was like, who's that? And they were like, no idea. We don't know. And I was like, all right, well, that's my guy. Like one guy like Triple H, one guy, I mean, not Triple H, Shawn Michaels, another one like the Undertaker. And I was like, all right, I'll take Kane. And then I've been a Kane fan for the rest of my life.
Yeah, no, Kane is the reason that I became a wrestling fan. I would, because it was as you said, there was no internet. There was no like, oh, that's Glenn behind the mask and he likes poetry and whatever.
He was a school teacher.
Yeah, it was like, this is Kane and he's terrifying and he's going to haunt your dreams. And me and my friend across the street who had the trampoline, we just loved Kane so much. We had to like do rock, paper, scissors to be Kane on N64, like to be able to be him in the game. Like without Kane, I mean, I'm sure I get into wrestling anyway because The Rock and Austin and all that, but Kane was my guy.
My brother had a Kane mask right around this time, my younger brother. He would just wear it. He was like, this was what, 90? This was 98? So he was
98.
8 years old just walking around with a Cane mask on. I'm like,
I
all
was
right, I
doing
guess
that.
this is what we're doing.
I was doing that until I was like 25.
Yeah, I was like, Jared at work. Just
I remember like being in high school. We used to like make movies and shit. Like me and my friends would make movies, and we made a horror movie, and the killer had Kane's mask in one of them.
Oh, that's a great call.
A precursor to See No Evil, some may say.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the prequel. Pete Rose.
Pete Rose.
There he is.
This is a stretch of like 3 WrestleManias in a row with Pete Rose.
He did this one.
He did Philadelphia where he
was that the
dresses
Rumble?
up as the San Diego Chicken.
I think it was Kane and X-Pac versus like Rikishi in, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Rikishi was in the match. But then, yeah, he came out as like the San Diego Chicken.
Pete Rose.
This chick is just like
Loves it.
I asked B-Walk. I hit him up. I DM'd him. I didn't hear back. I know he was Basement Time was right around when we started. and he has 4 fucking kids.
Someone tweet him. Maybe we could get him on by the main event. It'd be fun if we had 6
that
on the
man
main
has
event.
so many kids.
So I couldn't.
That guy's got kids for days.
So many kids. An unbelievable quantity of kids.
I don't know what he's doing up here, but in Mississippi, I think they were homeschooling 3 of them, and like we're homeschooling a kindergartner, and we're ready to lose our fucking minds. I couldn't imagine 3 kids being homeschooled ever.
My kid's too young for school, and I'm losing my damn mind. I can't imagine how you're living.
Wait, I have a kid.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to the No Kid Gang. We're doing all right.
Yo, have you guys noticed this guy in the front row with the lime green shirt?
He's everywhere. He looks like Bill Gates.
Everywhere. He's incredible.
He's a tall Bill Gates. That's exactly what he looks like to me.
Hey, real talk while Pete Rose is talking. I think I'm the only person on earth not to watch Tiger King yet. Should I watch it?
I haven't
Oh yeah,
seen it
big
yet.
time.
Big
I
time.
like it.
If you don't enjoy Tiger King, I don't know how you got a job at Barstool.
See, for me, I'll say this. The other Netflix documentary series that like went viral right away and became these sensations gripped me quicker than Tiger King, but Tiger King finishes really strong.
Yeah, I feel like I've picked up on it from just reading tweets over the last week that I get it. And so it's not like I'm against watching it, but I'm like, I don't know. Like there's something in me that's like, do I really want to watch it? I don't know. Do I care? I don't know. So, something in me says I don't care.
It's worth it. It's worth it. As a wrestling fan, it's basically like a wrestling show.
So someone asked in the comments, what is our top 5 entrance music?
D-Generation X.
Like, Clem, you did your Mount Rushmore blog last week?
Yeah. I think my 4 was, I did Mount Rushmore, so I don't know 5, but it was DX, Sexy Boy, Stone Cold, and I don't remember the 4th off the top of my head. It wasn't Undertaker, but those are 3 of them.
I'm going to go off the top of my head. DX, Break the Walls Down, Glass Shattering, and the gong for Undertaker.
I had DX. I have Vince McMahon, No Chance in Hell. Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold.
My 4th is Hogan, Real American.
Classic.
Yeah.
Pete Rose.
I would probably go Stone Cold, the GOAT. And then this is so tough. DX, Edge, Metal Angus, Alter Bridge.
If you know me, know me.
Yep. And then 2 more.
I'll tell you, I really loved Mankind's The Car Crash. For some reason, I always liked that one.
That was good. Yeah, that was good.
What about that one?
Wrestling themes are so tough. The Rock's is up there, and even like people might give me shit for this, but I feel like John Cena's at this point is so recognizable.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like I'm trying to think of the ones that hit, and then the crowd will like give that earth-shattering pop.
Yeah, I love Y2J's because he's had so many comebacks. So it's always like like when the stripper does the silhouette on the screen and like the whole Y2J experience with the jacket all the time.
Although he's now gotten his new theme over as much as that one, where the crowd is singing it like it's a friggin' concert every night.
How crazy is that? That's not even a very easy to sing along song.
No, it's not. The lyrics, the lyrics are like all about the Bible and Judas and shit. People are singing along.
Some other ones that I had also receiving votes here. $1 Million Man. I mean, that plays forever. NWO Wolfpack. So both NWOs, I think, were pretty incredible. Ric Flair.
I really liked when Hulk Hogan, when he came back, did a Jimi Hendrix Voodoo Child. That was awesome.
Yes.
Jared, what do you have?
Best theme songs of all time.
How about New Jack's, where it would just play through his whole match?
I have one.
What?
When the Hello Ladies hit for Val Venus.
Yeah. That's a really good one.
Like anything with that sick intro that you knew
Ass
what
Man,
was
Billy Gunn.
Yes. I love all those.
Yeah, I mean, like Austin's like original like glass breaking theme is the best. Like there, you'll never see a crowd response like that ever again.
Hey, what about Bret Hart with the earth, the guitar, like
The guitar rip. Yeah.
yeah, so good. Come on.
Yokozuna wasn't bad.
Yeah. Ultimate Warrior, so classic.
Warrior.
I would honestly like to cover the Ultimate Warrior's theme in pop punk.
Pop punk.
Dun, 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 dun,
Oh.
dun. That would be sick.
You're gonna have to do an in memoriam at Pop Punk, which is pretty upsetting.
RVD has a great one. That's a good call. Road
Goldberg.
Warriors, yep.
Yeah. The walkout, like the door.
Hardy Boys have a great one, and even Jeff Hardy solo has a great one as
Jeff
well.
Hardy solo. Wait, what's RVD's?
It's like one of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to listen to it. I don't remember. Oh, Shane O'Mac. Yes.
Hey, one of a kind.
People are saying
That's a pretty
JBL
good
with the
RVD
cow.
thing I just did.
Yo,
People
Shane
JBL
O'Mac.
with the cow mooing. That's a good one.
Shane O'Mac dancing across the stage
Yeah.
is legendary.
Who are the best like modern recent themes? Shinsuke Nakamura has a great one. Sing
Nakamura is
along.
unbelievable. I still like John Morrison's a lot with the
Batista.
slow mo.
Yeah,
Batista was
Batista's
great.
great one. Batista's so good. Yeah.
Or Randy Orton, his
Yep.
the most
That's
recent one.
timeless for sure. Yeah.
Yep.
CM Punk's original.
Yeah.
CM Punk's and Cult of Personality was great.
Cult,
Yeah, they're both great.
Jared, you might not like it. Cult of Personality is more CM Punk's at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, like in terms of like Money in the Bank 2011, like that crowd pop with the like
Because
original.
he went back. Yeah, but Cult, like I think of CM Punk as Cult of Personality.
Yeah, everybody does.
Aleister Black, I really like his entrance.
Didn't he
Little
write the
fun
lyrics,
fact about
Bob?
that. Yeah, he wrote the lyrics to that.
Bobby Roode Glorious is Finn Balor.
Finn Balor's is awesome.
Awesome.
I mean,
Samoa Joe.
Joe.
yeah.
Samoa
Yeah.
Joe's is good. People are now like the shame of Roman Reigns taking the Shield theme is that people won't talk about how great the original Shield theme is.
It is great.
So
What about
good.
where does Bray Wyatt's entrance at 32 fall for you?
It was pretty good.
Yeah, it's fine. Everything Bray does is cool, and then he loses. So like you kind of forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything he does doesn't matter. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's almost as if he's like a ghost that like isn't real.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah,
he's
a lot
ever
of
done
that.
is matter.
Everything Bray Wyatt does is better than a lot of people's, but then you're like, it's Bray Wyatt, so who cares?
There's no consequences. They'll never
Yeah.
follow up on it. Like it's strange.
I have a hot take. I don't even know how hot it is. I like Bray Wyatt's new theme better than the original.
Really?
Yeah,
No.
Man.
Yeah,
that's why it's a hot take.
I like
because
the
all you
original
idiots
better.
are disagreeing with it. You fools,
Thanks, Jared.
dumb fucks. It's a great. thing.
By the way, ridiculously big teardrop on the Undertaker at this point. He was drawing that thing on to make sure that the last person in the arena could tell that he had that on there. What an iconic shot there with the flashes.
Yep, the flashes.
See it all in the background.
So cool, man.
That's iconic. That's a WrestleMania moment right there.
Mhm.
Bring back flash bulbs.
Bring back flashbulbs.
They should just put them in arenas, like plant them in the seats of the arenas and give whoever rents the arena the capability to use that. Imagine
Jared,
concerts where like
Yeah.
lights would be going off in the seats.
Jared, I don't think Sosa versus McGuire would have been the same if not for the flash bulbs.
You know, it's funny you mention that because there are, I mean, the Sosa McGuire references during pay-per-views in 1998 are nonstop.
Really?
Yes. Like going like after like the summer, like go like watch like SummerSlam like 98 or any of the pay-per-views after like the summer of 98 and like Jim Ross will just be like, I need him in the ball bat like Mark McGuire.
You know, the funniest thing is whenever people realize my age, I would say that's one of the legitimately most common things that they say afterwards is they're like, oh shit, you missed McGuire and Sosa.
Really?
Like, like
so
in my
insane.
life, that is across my lifetime. That is what people say to me all the time. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
they would break into programming, like Will and Grace is on TV. They would break into programming to show like Mark McGuire's at bats. It was a ginormous thing. It was maybe the biggest. I mean, Jared, am I wrong? It was like the biggest baseball thing that will ever live.
They would literally, like, if you were watching like the news or like a TV show, they would interrupt your TV show to bring you like Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa's at bats. Like it was like a fucking presidential address. Like, you're like, I know that you're watching something else, but here's Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa.
Like,
I still remember where I was.
Now you're watching Sammy Sosa. Like, it was the biggest thing. I don't know, Jared. Is there going to be, or will there be, a bigger baseball story in our life than that chase?
I don't think so, because like that was back before like the general public knew what steroids were.
Yeah. Given the situation, of course.
Yeah, like if there were ever another chase for like single season or all time record, like everyone would be skeptical about it, so it wouldn't be as pure.
I mean, even Ripken wasn't as big as Sosa versus McGuire.
No, like I remember where I was for McGuire's homer to get the record.
Yeah.
Whereas, as a diehard Orioles fan, I can probably guess where I was for Ripken's record, but it doesn't stick out like Sosa or McGuire. I mean,
you know, McGuire Sosa was. I mean, besides like being a Caps fan watching Ovi, McGuire Sosa, I can't remember like just a bigger phenomenon. Just it was everything.
Yeah, like I remember Bonds like passing Babe Ruth and like breaking the record, and it was nowhere close to like a standout moment or memory. Like I remember where I was and I remember watching it, but like McGuire breaking Maris's record, like my dad was like, "You're gonna remember this for the rest of your life." And I was like, "Yeah, I guess so."
It was Unfortunately, it later got skewed, whatever, but you can't take away that moment, how you felt at the time. So I try to remember that.
Also, who gives a fuck?
Oh, it was, I mean,
know, at the end of the day, like, who gives a fuck?
I don't.
Yeah.
Baseball loves baseball is WWE. Baseball is the most dramatic freaking thing with steroids and just
they were both on the gas. They're both on the gas. Fair game.
Yeah, I agree. I think Sosa got a raw
deal. Look at Taker. Look at Luchador Taker.
Luchador Taker.
Oh my God, that could have went so badly for both.
Got a raw deal.
That could have been a broken ankle.
Pull out a reverse Rana there. Oh my goodness.
What's Taker's record at the point of WrestleMania? Like 6-0? It's probably not that much, right? 98.
No. Yeah, I think this is to go 6-0 or to move to 7-0.
He was 6-0 at this point.
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
That's weird to think about, because at this point, it almost gives me anxiety for these people in the past to think they probably weren't thinking about the Undertaker having a WrestleMania streak at this point. So they could have made the decision to be like, all right, we'll put Kane over. It could have been something as simple as that. Yeah. We never would have gotten what we got in the future. It puts that anxious feeling in my chest thinking about it. Like, don't put Kane over. We need the streak.
Vince, there's no way Vince was thinking. Like, Vince probably switched the result of this match 2 hours before this match. Not even realizing.
They didn't start talking about the streak till he was like at 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Because
that's what it wasn't until the Undertaker acknowledged it. Because who was 10? Was it Flair or was that the A-Train one?
I think it was Flair.
Yeah, so then like after he went 10-0 after the match, like he started like counting on his hands and he like showed 10. Like that was the first time it was ever like acknowledged there was a thing.
Because I just watched,
and now he's fucking like 23-6 at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I would say I just watched him versus Edge in 08 during the montage. The first thing they show is
that's
him doing
so underrated.
It is, and they start with him. Like the first thing they show about the streak is him doing the 10, like Kravis said.
Yeah. That Edge match people never talk about, but that headlined WrestleMania, headlined a great WrestleMania and tore the house down. And it has that amazing Lil Nate's run to the ring on that like 100-yard dash basically he did.
Yeah. They had that was a good storyline too, the Undertaker Edge.
was awesome. And it
Yeah.
concluded at that SummerSlam where they did Hell in a Cell and Taker fucking chokeslammed him through the ring.
I was at that SummerSlam. I got called a hillbilly at that SummerSlam.
Oh shit!
In Indianapolis.
Real.
We went it was right before my senior year of college. So we went up to Indianapolis, and I was wearing like a DX shirt, probably jean shorts, like unironically, and I put a dip in, and some guy behind me was like, "Look at these hillbillies in front of us." I'm like, buddy, we're sitting at SummerSlam. I'm throwing a dip in, and you're calling me a hillbilly?
I love that.
That was a weird.
Yeah, I didn't know how
SummerSlam.
deep the fandom ran for you, Reags.
I've always been a wrestling fan. Like I said, summertime it definitely picks up the most for me, especially now. But when I was growing up, it was nonstop.
Taker running the ropes like that is unbelievable.
Yeah, right. Moving so fast.
So fast. One of my
favorite things about the streak ending is that it was Big Cat and Hank were there, so it's just another thing about the Big Cat and Hank
They
dynamic.
mushed it. Yeah,
Fucking.
that's still the most shocked like maybe I've ever been in my entire life. To this day, watching the streak end, I remember where I was. I remember where I looked immediately afterwards. I remember I looked to the corner of my room like immediately after the 3 count, and then I looked at my brother, and we just both had the same look. Like, what just happened? We were like, was that a mistake? Did they mean to do that?
That's like me
The
after
match, the match
struck out.
stunk too. That was the other thing. It was the first Undertaker match at WrestleMania in so many years that was just absolutely horrible. So it was like so anticlimactic. Nobody expected the match to end where it did. Whew, what a moment. What a WrestleMania. WrestleMania 30 is so good.
Bob, that WrestleMania, so I was looking at airline tickets to New Orleans the day of that Sunday. Like, I really want to go because I was so into the Daniel Bryan thing. And I really wanted to go. And I was looking at airline tickets, and I was going to buy the cheapest ticket to get into the arena. And I was like, you know what? I don't have that much money. I'm going to save the money. I'm not going to go. And then I had people like in my DMs like giving me spoilers. They're like, hey, bet on this, bet on that. And like the Brock Lesnar match, it was like plus 1150. Like, it was like, unbettable for that to happen. And I ended up not buying it. Biggest regret of my life. Like, who cares about money? We're in like, why didn't I spend $1,000 to be at that WrestleMania? And
Can we just take a second to appreciate how fucking weird it is to see Kane put someone in a headlock?
but
Like, he's supposed to be a burned
His
alive
brother
demon.
who he wants to literally murder.
Yeah.
but he's a technical wrestler.
Yeah, he's a technical wrestler that was burned alive, and he's from hell.
The thing that
He's like,
is
just like they showed me at Foxcatcher.
Yeah.
I end up using that money to go to the WrestleMania in Dallas, which is like the worst mania ever. Yeah, so I fucked up.
Big time.
I don't know the WWE's fascination with that WrestleMania because they played it on TV like twice. They did like the NBC thing and then the whatever. That is like the worst WrestleMania they've ever put on. They skipped 31, by the way. So they went from 30 to 32. 31 is awesome.
I'm not sure
31
why.
is a great show.
I'm not sure why, but that is my least favorite WrestleMania.
Which one?
Very strange.
Where
32.
where
in Dallas.
Reigns beat Triple H in the main event.
Oh, yeah. What was the match before
Eight
that?
hours into the show.
So
They
bad.
did that weird angle with The Rock and the Wyatt family and Cena, and then
Is that when
Yeah,
the Rock
Rock-
like, gave a fucking...
flamethrower. Fucking what's his name?
they did a Hell in a Cell,
Title
Shane and
and ladder
Undertaker.
What year did he like
Zack
squash
Ryder.
Eric Rowan in like 2 seconds?
That's that one.
That year.
Yeah, that was trash.
Yeah. Zack Ryder wins the Intercontinental title in a ladder match. None of it made sense. Nothing made sense. This entire
The saving grace of that show, the best part of the
women.
show was the triple threat. Yeah.
which was fine, but it was like an NXT match.
Snoop Dogg. That was a good WrestleMania entrance with Snoop Dogg.
What, the Sasha?
Yeah.
Sure, but that was like 2 minutes. It was
Yeah, but Snoop. Come on.
Snoop. Bring
Snoop
your
Roop.
green hat.
Oh!
Oh!
Look at the bump!
Look at that bump from the
Spanish
Spanish announcer.
Yeah.
Tremendous. Oh, that was muy bien.
That was
The woman in the front row loves it with the big blonde hair.
Oh man, that was like a slow motion bump.
This is a good question from Brad Drew. Do you guys have Orton win tomorrow to continue his redemption for Edge? I think no matter what, you have. I think you have Orton win because I think without a crowd, you save Edge's first big like comeback win for that.
Yeah, like if they have SummerSlam in front of fans, you'd save it for that.
It's not like Edge is going to lose momentum at this point.
I want every heel to win at WrestleMania with no fans.
So, yeah, I want to agree with you, but Vince McMahon is so crazy that he might just book it as if it's a normal match. Like, he's so unpredictable that he might literally just give Edge his big WrestleMania moment in front of zero.
But that being said, am I excited for WrestleMania? No, not in the slightest. And it sucks to say that because WrestleMania is usually like my favorite day of the year. I have a feeling at least one match across both nights will surprise us and we'll be like, all right, that worked in an empty arena. And I think Edge and Randy Orton probably is the best shot at doing that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What's your favorite WrestleMania moment?
Daniel Bryan.
For me, it's Daniel Bryan. Yeah, just because he's like my guy. I was following him as my favorite wrestler since 2009. So him winning, I could actually show. I have this limited edition print from an artist of that moment in my apartment here.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's awesome.
Man, the glare's bad, rough.
Yeah.
But there you go. And another cool piece of Daniel Bryan merch I could show off here.
He's like hanging in your apartment.
So this is the shirt that Daniel Bryan wore to the ring at WrestleMania 34, his comeback in New Orleans. He wore this out to the ring, took it off in the ring, threw it out into the crowd, and it was caught by the NFL's #1 tight end, George Kittle, who sent it to me for my birthday.
Yeah.
Which
That's
is
awesome.
pretty damn awesome. But I'm going to get this framed after the whole outbreak with there's a picture of that I just found randomly online of Daniel Bryan coming out doing the S chant, and you can see me very clearly in the background doing it behind me. So, yeah,
Like
shout out George Kittle.
A picture?
Oh, yeah.
Really? Can you send that?
Because I was standing on my chair, so.
That's unbelievable.
Clem, what is it for you as an older wrestling fan?
Honestly, I'm like trying to think about it because I was a Hogan guy, and then like later in life, like I mean the Stone Colds and whatever. But I don't like Hogan. Like I was too young for Andre. I didn't even see Andre live. Like and then he lost to Warrior. So I don't really know if I have one off the top of my head. I'd have to go through back all the crazy shit. There's nothing that stands out for me though.
Reags, before that for me, it was WrestleMania 22, Rey Mysterio winning the title in that triple threat match.
Yep, that was a great triple threat match.
Seth cashing in was great. That was I mean, that's a top 5 WrestleMania moment. Especially because early in the night he takes the RKO, the curb stomp turned RKO, and then that was in San Fran. Bob, were you there?
Yep,
yeah.
I was there. That was pre Barstool. I was in high school still, but that was so. I really wanted to go to WrestleMania 30 as well.
You just made Clem and Reags kill themselves.
Yeah.
Oh my God! He broke his fucking neck.
Oh, he almost killed Kane with that one. Ooh, he almost killed Kane with that one.
Yeah,
but basically, my mom saw how like crazy into wrestling I was around WrestleMania 30, and she told me the day of WrestleMania 30, she's like, "I'll do whatever it takes to get you at the next one," and she fucking did it. And we went out the next year and did WrestleMania with my mom, best mom in the world.
Best mom in the world. Robbie, Rob, how are we doing on a snack?
God. He planted him again. The snacks, we've put a pretty good dent into the snacks now, but
I mean, that wasn't even.
We're probably gonna have to. We're probably gonna have to like do one regroup before I go back to Jersey, and then Trent will be on his own.
You'll see Trent in July.
he was talking about, I guess they were talking on Foreplay. They were saying he should go back to Iowa, and he was saying, I don't know if that's allowed. Like, can he go back and being a guy from New York?
I was going to go back to DC, and we decided it just wasn't worth the risk. Like, maybe in retrospect, I could have stayed in quarantine for 2 weeks in DC and been fine. I don't know. It's a mess. The whole thing's a mess. If you're going to do it, like, do it before Monday, because at some point they're going to lock us down. Sucks.
Yeah, I should be at an open bar in Atlanta right now, and instead I'm sitting here watching old
For
WrestleMania.
Maryland, for being Maryland in the Final Four.
I was supposed to go to Atlanta. I was supposed to go to Atlanta.
Great reaction by Paul Bearer.
I was supposed to go to Atlanta, to Charleston, which is my favorite city in America, for a few days, and then to the Masters. That was supposed to be my next week.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
This is such great work by Paul Bearer. Such great comical, like over the top cartoonish heel work by Paul Bearer.
Bob,
The way when he kicks out there, the way he slides that chair in, he's so pissed. Oh, I love it.
Bearer or Heyman?
You gotta get him. You gotta get him.
Bearer or Heyman?
Heyman,
just because at this point, yeah, his career's been on for so long. That being said, like, I'm not as high on Heyman as everyone else is. I think 80% of Paul Heyman's promos are the exact same promo.
It's like the Bray Wyatt thing. It's like, it's just, you talk about this.
But they make me
like,
laugh
right,
every time.
Yeah, where it's like his delivery was good, but once again, he's not saying anything memorable.
Right.
I can't like remember a Paul Heyman promo from the last 5 years. I can't bring one up.
Yeah. But I'm a sucker. So, like, I love Bray Wyatt promos and I love Heyman promos because they get me so hyped at the time. But then if you ask me an hour later what they actually said, I don't know, man. It was cool, though. But I'm with you.
This one, Heenan over everyone. Heenan's the greatest manager ever for me.
On the chair.
Oh.
Heenan as an announcer too was, I mean, I love the King and all, but Heenan, like, he would just drive you crazy if you were, you know, especially if you're a kid and you're marking out or whatever. He'd just drive you crazy. He'd always have something. He was like Dave. He knows how to twist the knife 7 different ways every fucking time.
Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon is my favorite commentary team of all time in the history of wrestling. I know everyone goes Jim Ross and Jerry the King, but there's just something about like waking up on a Saturday morning and listening to the voice of Gorilla Monsoon that is so amazing to me.
Gorilla played with him too. What are you talking about, Bobby? And he
will you stop?
Where do you stand on Michael Cole?
I like Michael Cole. I think he is hindered by Vince being in his ear 24/7.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I think Michael Cole in big moments. I think Michael Cole usually shines. He has some of my favorite calls ever. When Seth cashed in and he called it the heist of the century, like that's an all-time Michael Cole call.
I mean, the vintage.
So bad for Michael Cole because he is a good announcer, but he has Vince in his ear at all times, and he says Yeah, I mean, Michael Cole does his job. Michael Cole is like, I'm going to do what I'm told. I'm going to get my paycheck. I'm going to do the best I can. But he does what Vince wants at all times, and it hinders what people think about him. But he's a good announcer. If they gave him a little creative freedom, I think he'd be great. But people hate him because it's boss time. Like, shut up, Michael Cole, but it's not Michael Cole's fault.
Right.
Michael.
And he's shown that on like the UK shows that he's commentated where it's clear Vince is not there and it's Triple H in his ear or whatever. And he's like just more normal. He's less robotic. He's not using everyone's catchphrases like Nate said. Like he's not everyone going by. Here's the big dog, Roman Reigns, and it's his yard.
Use hashtag big dog to let us know what you
burn it down.
Who
best IC champ of all time. If that's his Miz.
Chris Jericho.
Jericho. Yeah, come on.
Jinx.
Miz is a good one. You could say.
The answer is Jericho. The answer is Jericho main evented as the Intercontinental Champion because he was so good. It's Jericho. The answer is Jericho.
Cody Rhodes was a good one.
Rest in peace.
I fucking love Jericho. I love that dude, man. I was so happy how he hit when he came into the WWE. Now, where is he now?
AEW.
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 That's
Chris Benoit
Robbie. I'm
is
looking forward to
good.
getting back into that. I watched the first month of it.
It's great. AEW is awesome. It's so
really
refreshing.
good. No,
It feels like good pre Attitude Era WCW almost.
I really
like 95 WCW.
I really enjoyed it, but then basketball season picked up, and it was like, well, that's taking up the TV. So I'm looking forward to being able to watch that again because I thought it was awesome. I really liked the way that they had great sells. They had great the matches were just phenomenal.
AEW it's just good. It's a good wrestling show. It's everything you want it to be. AEW is good television. It's good wrestling. It's just exactly what you want wrestling to be. It's good.
Oh shit! Is this up next?
Yeah.
Are we on to the main?
Yeah, we don't have 7-hour shows back in '98.
Yeah, this is only a 2 hour and 44-minute show.
Iron Mike Tyson.
So was Tyson still boxing at this point? He had to be, right? 98?
Yeah,
No, this was his little break, I think.
but he wasn't done.
I think he took
yet.
a little. No.
retired.
No.
This is after Holyfield.
This is so great. This segment where him and Austin get into the scuffle, all the money goes flying in the ring. The money was literally just from Tyson's posse. They said they would have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars in their pockets at all times. So as soon as they got into the scuffle and it got a little more aggressive than they thought it would, people were just picking up like $100 bills in the ring. Always loved his robotic suck it.
Yep.
I mean, I would say this is like this exact angle is what got me into it. Because like once Tyson was in, I was like, oh, I'm fucking in. And those shirts, like the silver with the black, those popped too. They weren't the green ones, but I think that might be my favorite DX shirt.
Those are the best, yeah.
I'm still a sucker for the green. Just that green just pops so perfectly.
I'm buying wrestling shirts. I'm gonna buy like 3 wrestling shirts during the quarantine. Tonight I'm gonna go online. I'm gonna go.
I wasn't allowed to get that one growing up because that one on the back was the one that we got 2 words for you. Suck it. I was not allowed. I also made the mistake of I asked my mom for a shirt. They made a shirt that said in green spray paint said Vince loves, and then it had a chicken on it. And I didn't really I knew that it meant cock. But I didn't understand that cock meant penis. I thought cock meant like Vince is a chicken. I thought you were saying like he's a chicken, he loves another chicken. So a little 7-year-old Bob went straight up to his mom and said, "Can I get the new DX shirt?" And she said, "Well, let me see it." I showed it to her and she was like, "Do you know what that means?" And I said, "Yeah, Vince loves cock. Can I get it?" And she was like, "No, and you cannot say that."
That reminds me of when I wanted Red Hot Chili Peppers album Californication, and my mom asked me if I knew what it meant, and I lied and I said yes. And then she asked my dad, can we get him this album called Californication? And he didn't care, but thankfully, I had no idea what anything meant at the time. I just really liked Red Hot Chili Peppers when I was 13 years old. So thankfully but I was not allowed to get Cisco CD, and I threw a temper tantrum in Best Buy because they would not let me get a Thong Song Cisco CD.
I don't understand how he looks so unnatural doing this suck it.
Right? You think he'd be able to do it better than anyone in the world.
Not everyone can pull it off.
But that's the thing. Everyone can pull it off. That's why I'm so confused.
Oh, God, it's so bad. Oh, God.
I mean,
it's great foreshadowing. Maybe he's just such a good actor.
Yeah, it's true. He's not into it. Like if you do the DX, it's because you're a DX fan. This is all just a ruse.
Yeah,
you're really getting into it if you're a DX fan. You're chopping.
Totally.
It's crazy to think
going
Mike
back
Tyson,
and forth with like the open one, the closed one, the open, the closed.
I never liked the open. I was strictly a closed.
I was always closed as well. Yeah, but in my later life, I've kind of become more of an open guy.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely
it's
go
more versatile.
That is a good.
Yeah, it's more versatile. I feel like now in life because I can still find myself throwing a good suck it around, But it's more just like a suck my dick. By the way, I love them showing Austin like in
Yes.
the guts of the arena. This is amazing.
Just walking past the buffet.
You just realize how it's all just piecemealed together when you see just how shit. It looks so cool on TV, but it's just a bunch of idiots in the backstage.
Oh, did I miss the glass?
Yeah.
Damn it.
People just going ape shit. What a time to be alive before Austin was the
And
WWF champ.
No crazy entrance in the WrestleMania. Like if this is present day, this entrance is 25 minutes long.
There's Cartman again. Cartman 25 different times.
That's one of my favorite things, by the way, about WrestleMania 30 is they didn't give Daniel Bryan any special entrances. And they gave, like, Randy Orton and Batista both had their bands come out and do it. And then they just gave Daniel Bryan nothing. And I love that because I was like, oh, fuck, that's, like, so perfectly him.
Right.
Yeah, when Austin and The Rock would go on the ropes, those light bulbs popping, that was a huge part of this, man.
Look at the bulbs, bro. They're so cool.
And somehow they hit like all in different sections at the perfect time too.
Top 5 wrestling shirts. I mean, I think you have to throw the DX on there.
I mean, NWO's on there.
Yeah.
Oh, Bob, that picture is so cool.
Stone Cold 360.
Oh, that I just sent you, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I found that on someone's Tumblr.
Who sent you that?
I just found it on someone's Tumblr.
What are the chances?
Yeah. And I had them send me, so I found like one, and someone's arm was in front of my face, and I said, do you have like any other pictures? I reached out to them, and they sent me that one.
That's unbelievable. That's so cool. Huh.
That hair is outrageous.
Outrageous.
Oh, I would have hated Shawn Michaels so much if I was I would have despised him.
Oh, he might be my favorite wrestler of all time.
I forgot that.
I was gonna say I would have fucking loved him. I would have loved him.
Like if it's
Jared,
him or
they
Stone
edited
Cold.
out the DX band's Star Spangled Banner. They edited out of this pay-per-view
Why?
because it's too disrespectful to the troops.
Why? What did they do?
It's just such a they sounded like shit. They sounded like the DX band, and people booed them. They got booed out of the building.
Really?
Big time. They sounded horrible.
What do you think the D-Generation X singer is doing during quarantine right now? Do you think he's adhering to quarantine?
No.
He's just practicing suck it.
Definitely adhering to quarantine. That guy's not leaving the house.
Dead or
He doesn't
alive.
know there's a quarantine. He's at home.
I love Shawn Michaels tights on this show.
Yeah.
Some of the best Shawn Michaels tights ever.
I never understood why they got rid of this belt. This belt is so fucking awesome.
It's so good. I wish that was still the title.
That and the John
Now
spinner.
I don't hate the title now. I actually think it's okay. But I hate the universal with the like blue strap. I think it looks stupid. It looks better than the red strap, but we won't even go there. It's just a big logo now because what it is a tool for them to send to whoever wins the World Series to bring on the parade. HBK face or heel? Who you got?
Either. Like he's great at both.
Yeah, he's the GOAT, so he could go back and forth and do either. But
HBK,
I rooted for him as a face for the majority of my childhood.
Like he's a natural heel to me because like look at him, he's just like a cocksucker. Like he's always.
I guess I would say face because these are my two favorite wrestlers, but I like Stone Cold more. And
But
definitely
I would
Stone
say
Cold.
face.
DX,
Michaels is
DX
my favorite.
heel. Like that's the thing. DX is just heel.
That's what I'm saying, but I think
Heel
He turned-
HBK was the best because that was Sean. Like he was just being himself.
Yeah.
They were like, go out there and
Yeah.
be a fucking cocksucker like you are.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're supposed to like Shawn Michaels, like he's such like just like a fucking piece of shit. It's like that guy's a heel.
But then second
found
half of
God,
his
he
career,
found
Shawn
God.
Michaels, like reborn Christian Shawn Michaels, kind of a different dynamic there.
But DX Shawn Michaels is
different.
But I feel like
one of my favorite eras of Triple H is when he was such a bad guy that he started getting pops from the crowd because he was so good at being a heel, and like they could not keep him as a heel anymore. And this was like deep DX Triple H, but he was just at the top of his game, and they eventually kind of made him a face. I don't even know what year this would be, 2005, 2006-ish, I guess. But I love that Triple H era where he was putting himself over every night, but he was still trying to be a bad guy. That's one of my favorite Triple H. But
I
HBK,
love Shawn Michaels dancing around here.
So good.
Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart?
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels.
If you say Bret Hart, I think you're a loser. And I don't mean to say that I think I judge you in life, but I judge you in life.
And Bret Hart, like, I respect like training in the Hart dungeon and like coming up. There's basically no more difficult way to come up in the industry than through like Stu Hart's training. But then the way that he went out and he was such a baby about it, I could never after that like be like, yeah, I'm a Bret Hart guy.
Sean is such a dick with these facials.
So good at it though.
So good.
I just wanted to put this comment up because I thought Jared was loading every time I look because he's the circle, and I just keep thinking he's spinning. And I didn't know if you noticed that after that comment because it fucked me up this entire time.
I saw that and I knew exactly what it meant. It was just,
Is that a fan?
It's a ring light.
Okay.
For my TikToks.
Fancy.
Yeah, I'm working on some new dances. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about them.
Sean's ass just popping out.
Yeah.
Shawn, but that was a Shawn Michaels thing. He would take his ass out all the time. I'm convinced he would be like telling like ring rats and groupies like, oh, "I'll take my ass out for you tonight so you can peek."
My fucking. Oh no, my feed is frozen.
Really?
Not you guys, my WWE network. Now I'm gonna have to resync. I was nails with that timestamp.
You and Nate were fucking locked up.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
we were watching the same thing, brother. All right.
We're at 2 hours, 20 minutes, and 7 seconds.
2 hours, 20 minutes.
Just go to 20, 20, 30, and then I'll tell you when we're at 20, 20, 30.
Oh no. It's just now I'm getting the circle of death here. I can't even.
You're missing Sean's gorgeous braids flowing down the back of his head.
Oh, no.
I would love to have hair like that by the end of the quarantine.
I would love to see you with hair like that, Rob.
Those sideburns too, like the same way he's got them.
I mean, it's just peak 90s. Like, if you didn't have sideburns in the 90s, unless you're a bald guy like Steve Austin, you were not living life correctly.
The biggest regret of my life is before I started balding, I never dyed my hair. And I look back on my life and wish I at one point dyed my hair. And now I just don't have hair that I can dye anymore. So all you young whippersnappers, no better time than now to dye your hair. Where would you rank Kurt Angle on the all-time list?
I was never an Angle fan.
Yeah, me neither.
He was never one of my guys, but he's up there. I believe he deserves a spot up there on the all-time list, especially when you consider how quickly he picked everything up.
It's weird because like he was definitely there long enough, but like he got there after like all the guys that we love were already there for a little bit.
Right.
That could.
You know what's weird to think about is that he spent the vast majority of his career in TNA. It's weird to think about.
Yeah.
He just, I don't know. I just never cared for him. Like, even if he was a heel, whatever, I was never entertained by him. Although I do love the Angle, like, you suck chant.
His match against Michaels at WrestleMania 21 is one of my favorite WrestleMania matches ever.
I think it was also
there's some sequences there where Michaels is throwing the Sweet Chin Music. He's fucking grabbing him in the ankle lock. He threads it.
See, I think
so good.
I hated the ankle lock was just such a boring way to end a match for me.
Dude, Michaels was going balls to the wall in every single match. The bumps he's taken with a broken back. Oh my God.
I was gonna say he didn't really wrestle before this, right? Like he had been off for a while. Like he wasn't fighting for months, right? At least
he's probably hopped up on painkillers in this match right now.
Oh yes, my guy Benny Mac Blogger. Buy one get one for $1. Nostalgia T-shirts at the WWE shop. Let's go.
Do you remember the Taz vignettes leading up to? So Kurt Angle was undefeated, and everybody hated his guts, integrity, intensity, and whatever, the 3 eyes. And then they brought in Taz from ECW and to break his undefeated streak. And then they never really did anything with Taz because he was 5'6", and they're just like, all right, now you're Taz. So, but I hated Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle was so hateable, but he ended up being such a good character at being hateable. But I think they expected him to be a big face coming in, and everybody just despised him. But the milk truck is all time. He has a lot of all time moments.
The promo with Austin with the cowboy hats, the tiny cowboy hat.
A lot of moments.
When he did the remix of HBK's entrance music.
Yes. Yeah. When Jason Jordan was his son, that was good stuff.
Oh God!
Come on.
I mean, did Jason Jordan ever come back? He got hurt during that angle, and he's been out for like 3 years.
Yeah, I think but that was one of those rough, like, may never wrestle again injuries because it was neck.
And then
was his neck.
What's Chad Gable's new name? Like Big Baby C?
Shorty Gable. Best and worst wrestler to be quarantined with. I bet best would be the man we're watching right here, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, no debate.
Yeah, on his ranch with all that shit he's got. Come on,
just let me just have him bring me.
You could talk to him for hours. Yeah,
mine would be Kofi or no Xavier. Sorry, I got them confused. For
Kofi would be a good one too, though. He used to be CM Punk's road partner.
Up, down looks like a ton of fun. Just playing video games, chilling.
Yeah, I'll take Stone Cold because he's a professional podcaster too now, so he can just talk to you for hours.
I would love to get quarantined with Shane O'Mac.
He'd be a good one.
Spend all his money?
No, he'd try to do some daredevil shit. He'd be like, all right, I'm bored. Let's go jump off a helicopter.
The worst
Rikishi, man. He probably farts for like a motherfucker.
Imagine
New Jack
Rikishi blowing up your bathroom.
Rikishi fart on you.
I think Goldberg would be terrible.
No personality.
Yeah, like I would just look at him and be like, I don't know, like I got nothing to say to you.
Yeah.
I mean, other than the money, Vince McMahon, I mean, he doesn't like sneezing as it is. If you Corona's out there.
Yo, I would be in Vince McMahon's doghouse from the second I met him.
Yeah. Nate, I love you. You don't seem like a guy Vince would like. And I'll say as myself, I promise you Vince would not like me. Dude, Vince would take one look at me and be like, what are you, a vegan, you little pussy? You little pipe cleaner arm pussy?
He would 100% make fun of you for not being like weighing enough.
Yeah.
No, I mean Vince would be the absolute.
Careful, you don't float away. Should we get you a paperweight to hold on to, pal?
Shane McMahon is trying to kill himself in the ring so his dad will respect him. He just does it every single time. He has all this money, and he's just trying to kill himself.
Shane's like 55 years old and he's jumping off Hell in the Cell. Dad, please like me.
You know who actually might be second behind Steve Austin for my pick to be quarantined with is The Miz.
I like The Miz.
He seems like a good guy.
The Miz, I'm not crazy
sports.
The Miz's character, but I've met The Miz a couple times and he's been fucking awesome as shit.
Yeah, if you're giving me Mike, I think that might be the pick.
Yeah.
Personally, Kevin Owens, good guy.
Yeah.
Him, Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens texted me the other day and checked in on me because he said we were talking and he was like, "Oh, how are you?" I said, "I'm good." And then he texted me later on that night with a screenshot of a text that said, "I watched 15 episodes of One Tree Hill today." And he's like, "I thought you said you were good."
Where's Batista? I would have thought Batista would be higher.
Good what? Worse, Batista. Batista seems like a good guy.
I've never heard anything bad about Batista, right?
No,
everyone loves Batista. Oh well, people didn't like him in the ring, but
Where would Cena be?
Oh man, I don't think I would pick him.
I would say I could see him being terrible, to be honest.
Because remember, he had all those weird house rules for Nikki Bella on Total Divas, where like she could like only do her laundry at certain hours, and she had to wear like slippers in certain rooms. And
I think prison would be.
I think Cena's a weirdo.
Cena's a robot. Yeah, he's a computer.
Yeah. I think he's a complete computer.
Yeah.
Who would I want to get quarantined with though? Like obviously, Glenn. I'd love to get quarantined with Glenn. Kane would not be the worst. That'd be the best.
Kane.
Like,
Kane would probably just have great stories for you.
Hours?
Yeah. Like me and fucking Kane would be sitting on the couch wearing leather masks watching One Tree Hill for like 7 hours. we love it because we'd be like, this isn't weird if like we're both into it.
Who have we interviewed that's been cool?
I mean, Big E is probably the funniest guy.
Yeah.
Big E is so fucking funny. His Twitter cracks me up.
Yeah, he'd be really good.
I could definitely quarantine with Big Cass.
Adam Cole? Yeah.
Adam Cole. Yeah, me and Big Cass could, I mean, he's a huge baseball fan. He's a Yankee fan, but like we like all the same shit. So I could definitely do that.
See, that's why I would take the Miz, is because he's a diehard basketball, football fan.
Yeah, he's a huge Cleveland guy too. Like he'd be fun to watch Browns games with and just watch his heart get ripped out.
Right, like my best friend's from Cleveland, so I'm just subbing out my best friend for a better version of him.
Oh, Rey Mysterio. I would love to be quarantined with little Ray. Just fucking have him Hurricane Rana me all the time.
Just both
like
wear
Hurricane Rana me into the kitchen.
But you have to wear a mask the entire time.
Yeah. Is this really Brandon Walker?
Oh, you know who I wouldn't like? Ziggler.
Why?
Yeah.
He's
just because his comedy's so bad.
He's
everything that's ever come out of that guy's mouth has been cringy.
You just bang the shtick alarm, the bit alarm the entire
it's 11-11. Make a wish, everybody.
I hope HBK retains.
No.
Ziggler is just a buffet of bits. Like he's just a bit guy.
You know who'd be the worst is Vicky Guerrero. That voice would drive me insane 2 days in.
Yeah.
Who else does bits? Who else besides Ziggler is just like a big bit guy?
Oh, you know who I would actually love to quarantine with? Fucking R-Truth.
Yeah.
I was going to say he's a bits guy. I can't stand him with the 24/7 title.
But he's
so funny,
hilarious.
Man. He's so funny.
I could quarantine.
People forget Ziggler dated Amy Schumer. People forget Amy Schumer has me blocked.
People don't forget that.
Or Instagram.
I would love to quarantine with Alexa Bliss.
Yes.
She's
an Ohio girl. She's from Columbus.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, talking about.
I fired off a funny, horny tweet before. Let's see how it's performing live. I haven't been on Twitter since I fired it off. Casey Musgraves put up a funny. It did not perform well. 4 people have liked it. Casey Musgraves put up like a picture of her like looking pretty hot, and I said, "Oh wow, step on my neck." It's a good one. I'm leaving it up. I like that tweet.
I like that tweet. Fuck you. It's funny.
I'm right. Good. Why are you booing me? I'm right.
please clap.
That's a great tweet.
Yeah, those were good pictures out of nowhere.
Great pictures. And the last one, she's like smoking a joint in a bra. She looks super hot.
Jared, what was the birthday meal tonight?
What happened?
Birthday meal.
Steak and potatoes. You know, it's the same dinner I've had for the last 17 days. It's from a meal prep service, and like when everyone started panicking and they like whatever it was like 2.5 weeks ago when they thought they were going to shut everything down, I just ordered fucking like 17 steak dinners and stuck them in my freezer. So I've just been eating those for dinner every single night for the last 2.5 weeks. So now I'm going to have like a more calmly ordered meal prep service order like tomorrow.
Are they good?
They're very good. Yes.
Are they Send me like where you got him. That's something I would be interested
no
in.
free ads, no free ads, but I'll text it to you.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Of course.
A little shout to the Nature Boy,
Figure 4.
Ric Flair,
Woo!
Woo! Don't tap
Shawn
Steve.
Michaels, idol.
Speaking of fucking Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels, it's crazy. I watched the career, the leave the career match, whatever, and Charlotte in the front row bawling her eyes out with short hair.
Yeah. That's a classic match as well. That
Yeah,
the fact that Shawn got a match that good out of Rick at that point, crazy.
That
goes to show you why he was Mr. WrestleMania.
Bob, you've seen that GIF go viral where people were like saying goodbye to my grandfather when he tests positive for coronavirus.
Oh, really?
And it's like,
I didn't see that.
Sorry, I love you, and then the super kick right to the face, the sweet chin music right to the face. I think a lot of people who don't even know what it is have been seeing a lot of that GIF.
We got a question in the chat about seeing the new Jack doc, which you said you haven't. What about Benoit? Have you guys gotten into the Benoit one yet?
Oh yeah.
I'm scared to watch it.
I watched it. Yeah, it's fucking the first. It's a two-parter. It's like 2 hours. The first part of it is a lot of Eddie stuff, a lot of like what went wrong, made him depressed towards the end, and then the second half is what you would expect. It's as dark as it gets.
Did you buy into any of the theories about him and Eddie?
No.
Me neither.
I
mean, it is.
Ever.
It's yeah. I don't know. I didn't hear those until very recently. I didn't even know that was like a thing that people were throwing around. But
yeah, no, I think weird things happened in that era of wrestling, but I don't think it. I don't think anybody cared.
Yeah,
it's like the Shawn and Vince rumors. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'd never heard those either.
Oh, those are like super, super out there. Like rumors that like Shawn and Vince were like a couple. Yeah. And that's why Shawn got like preferential treatment for so long.
I never heard that before.
They're out there for sure.
Huh.
It's another thing that I do not believe. I'm not trying to perpetrate this for anyone in the chat. I think it's a very ridiculous conspiracy theory.
I don't like being
perpetuate.
Yeah, no, I don't want to perpetuate them at all. But like, I think
perpetuate.
Those
What I say? Perpetrate.
Yeah.
In the early 80s, weird shit just happened, and I don't know who are we to say, but I don't know. I'm not. I don't know. I think it's possible.
What's possible?
That Eddie and Benoit.
What's the best Mania main event? My personal favorite is that WrestleMania 31 we were talking about previously. But best pure match, I mean, speaking of Chris Benoit, WrestleMania 20 has a great one. WrestleMania 6, Hogan Warrior is a classic. WrestleMania 12, the Iron Man match.
Hogan Warrior for me. That was my number one. Even though
a lot of people like that WrestleMania 17 match.
It's still Stone Cold. It's Stone Cold Rock for me. 17
Which
or
one?
19. 17 or 19, pick your one.
It's Daniel Bryan 31 for me.
30, you mean?
30. Sorry, yeah, New Orleans. Just Daniel Bryan winning the title after that.
That match I've seen that match a trillion times, including the match he opens the show with in WrestleMania 10 Bret Hart fashion against Triple H, and I never get tired of it. It's overbooked in the perfect like wrestling way. The crooked referee coming back, Daniel Bryan getting taken out on the stretcher and refusing medical attention. Like it's so over the top in all of my favorite ways that embraces the ridiculousness and like cinematic qualities of wrestling. It encapsulated a 7-month, 10-year story in 20 minutes.
The thing is, I was blogging. So Daniel Bryan became the first mainstream wrestling thing since
here we go.
Since
Pay
like
attention,
the Attitude Era. And I was blogging Daniel Bryan nonstop, and Daniel Bryan was getting like Michigan State was going, yes, yes, yes. The Islanders, yes, yes, yes. The San Francisco Giants, yes, yes, yes. So it was all mainstream. And I was on top of it the whole time. And so him winning the title was kind of just like it encapsulated like the entire blogging arc as well. So that's why it's my personal favorite. It's just like I had been blogging leading up to it, and I needed him to win for the blogging purpose, and then he did it, and it was awesome, and everything just worked perfectly.
And I remember people always say like, well, everyone knew he was going to win that night. There were serious doubts that night of like, they might just fuck him over again. They might continue this thing. Like, I remember seriously until Batista tapped out, like having very serious doubts, and especially the false finish they did in that match, the Batista bomb, where Batista just throws Daniel Bryan out of the ring and tries to pin Orton after the flying knee. Ooh, it's a great one.
Dude,
I like this. Someone said, whose finisher would you use if you were in a match tomorrow?
I was worried that they were going to do Triple H just going over Bryan. Like, I'm Triple H and you're not.
People were worried about that too. Yeah.
Like,
I would use the Sweet Chin Music. Just kick someone right in the face.
The X Factor, X-Pac.
The X Factor.
Here you go. The Austin era has begun, folks.
Wow.
Dude, anytime you can slam someone's face down into the mat, you got to take it.
I would do the stunner. The stunner just works. It works so well. It is what it is for a reason.
It's the RKO for me.
Choke slam guy forever.
Whose?
Choke slam.
Kane's. I was actually going to have Bob, like when we were doing the spot, I was going to have you like stay up there. Like if I lifted him up and then he put his hand on my shoulder, I probably could have done like a pause for a second.
I think the favorite finishing I ever saw was the RKO. The first time he did it, I was at Raw in Lexington. I was there in it was 2010. I forget who he did it on, but they jumped off the top rope and he caught him midway and RKO'd it.
I do like
Quick
Spear.
hook
I
here
do like
from Iron Mike.
Edge to spear the shit out of somebody.
Spear's good.
There's too many spears.
Now there is.
there are.
Everyone's got a fucking spear.
When it was just Edge spearing people, like when Edge speared in TLC off the top of the ladder, like what's better than that?
Yeah, I don't mind it as like a setup move, like how Goldberg did it.
Or what about a Swanton Bomb?
That's pretty dope.
Classic. Did Tyson really need to quick count? I don't think Tyson did it on purpose. I think Tyson just didn't know what the fuck wrestling was.
Yeah.
I fully agree. He was just like he was just,
Mike Tyson in '98.
Yeah, he was just on crack. What do you want to do? Like,
Yeah.
They were like, Mike, you have to just hit the mat 3 times and raise the arm and get $1 million or whatever he got signed for it. And he just was focusing on that. So pretty decent WrestleMania here, I have to say.
Yeah, very watchable throughout.
Is like a great one, right? 17?
17.
17 is the gold standard, yeah.
It's a gold standard.
17, 18, 19 is the best 3-stretch WrestleMania of any WrestleManias.
So wait, what matches do we have tomorrow? Do we know?
If we know, I don't know.
I don't know either.
And it's so what is it? It's a 2-night. How
7
many
to 10
hours?
or 7 to 10, I believe.
I think it's like 7 to 10, 7 to 11 every night. Who knows?
Like where's like wrestling Twitter at with? I feel like you guys are pretty fed up with it. So like if me coming in needing something to watch, I'm probably not going to enjoy it, even if like even though.
No. It isn't one of the years that if you don't watch wrestling, you can just like hop in tomorrow and watch it. You won't care. Like even wrestling fans don't care. It's a lot of indifference.
Yeah.
It's a bad idea that they're doing it. It's a terrible idea that they're doing it 2 straight nights.
It's a pre-tape, like they did it already. Is a weird aspect of it too.
Yeah. I hate it.
We'll watch it. We'll do a live stream or whatever, I'm sure, but I don't know. Stay tuned for it.
Yeah, I literally couldn't even tell you what you're going to see tomorrow, and it's 12 hours, or I don't know how many hours. 20 hours from now.
I always love these like little recap highlight reels they did.
These were my favorite. They stopped doing them.
Did they really? Why would you stop doing them?
They stopped at like WrestleMania 20. I want to say 24, 25-ish might be last area.
Go ahead.
Is there anyone that had to be more nervous in hitting the like firework button at the exact time as Triple H or Shawn Michaels suck it? Because you have to time that up perfectly.
How many people do you think got fired by Triple H for not lining that up? 7 to 10, 15 is what I saw online. All right. I can't imagine being less interested in a WrestleMania.
Is the crowd indifferent?
I never have.
What's that?
What's
Clem?
that?
Is the crowd indifferent now? Do they not really get into it and shit? Like, can you feel that there's just not the same energy?
There's no crowd.
There's no crowd. That's why people aren't. No,
nobody
cares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. It's just, yeah.
Does the Spanish announcer table still get shattered all the time?
Oh yeah.
I love it.
That hasn't changed.
Dies a hero's death every time.
That'll never change. It
It's
never
always-
should. That's like the greatest thing in American wrestling history.
It's always a good prop bet if you're sitting around watching it with friends, betting like what match before it starts that you pick out of a hat or whatever you get assigned it, put $5, whatever you want to do in the hat. Whoever gets it during that match wins.
I like that. That's a great idea.
All right, fellas.
Yeah, so
yeah,
that's
right, folks.
WrestleMania 14.
And then, are we
Good
doing
show.
WrestleMania tomorrow? What's happening?
Yeah, I think we're going. I think we're going to. I was talking to Blackjack about it. I think Blackjack might be the one that's setting it up. So I don't know. I'm sure we'll get a watch party together or something for it. Follow us on Twitter.
I know it's like there's bigger problems in the world. The fact that we're just going to be sitting around miserable watching Mania tomorrow, it's so disappointing. I don't know.
Guys, is it cool if I come into the stream with Big Cat Spiral Ham Crew and like chirp you guys a little bit?
Yeah.
So
you
I'll become-
know what we should do? Figure out how to get the Big Cat Derby to run during Mania.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah.
The Big Cat Derby will out fucking rating Mania.
That's what I'm saying.
By far.
We'll put that on after like the second match, and then it'll be like, I don't even know, The Miz versus some fucking mid Carter and
versus Jay Uso.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta find this Raw from the next night because I heard the next night's Raw was the next DX phase and all that shit, and then obviously The Rock and Farouk.
Oh yeah, that's when he brought back X-Pac.
Oh, that's right, X-Pac's return.
The one with your kid.
Yeah, he came back to WWE, and then like later in the night, what was it, like a steel cage match when they announced that the New Age Outlaws were joining?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
There's got to be a way to watch all the Raws, right?
Yeah, it's on the network.
They're all on there at this point, yeah, except for like the recent ones, obviously. Everyone from the Attitude Era is on there.
How long had X-Pac 123 Kid been off WCW TV until he came to WWE?
Very briefly.
Yeah,
not that long at all. I don't think.
Yeah,
Not
it was
long
like
at all?
definitely like less than like 6 months. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was still a surprise, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't have a good memory of it.
All right, fellas. My computer's actually about to die, so I actually have to say adios. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
All right,
see you, Rob.
See you later, guys. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see
This
you.
was great. But we'll do this for. We're doing this for Mania.
Sure.
Yeah,
Oh my
Bob
God.
said they're doing something, so
I'll be
None
there.
of us have plans.
happy birthday, Rocket.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Happy birthday, Rocket.
Thank you.
Rocco,
Thank you.
love you.
Love you more.
Good
It's
night.
been real. All right. We'll see you guys.
Say up.